welcome everybody. We are going to react to a reaction and to a reaction tonight. But first, I want to read my axioms. Axioms of Sidney Winston. Okay? You ready? All right. Number one, non-debatable. Firstly, let me just let you know there's 3 axioms. 2 are non-debatable. 2 non-debatable. 1 we can debate. Okay? First non-debatable axiom: all gods are imaginary concepts. That's it. Concepts in the head. Number 2. Number 2. Human evolution is proven by science. Excuse me. Human evolution is proven by science. Non-debatable. Non-debatable. Okay. Number 3. The 11 rules of the earth are way more relevant than the 10 commandments of Christianity. What do I mean by that? Exactly. What exactly does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what. Let me read. You all know what the 10 commandments of Christianity are, right? How about I read to you the 11 rules? The 11 satanic rules of the earth. I can even explain to you as we go along, okay? Okay, so here we go. Let's just do it this way. Okay, number 1. Do not give opinions or advice unless you are asked. Okay? Make sense? Number 2. Do not tell your troubles to others unless you are sure they want to hear them. Satanic rule of the earth number 3. When in another's lair, show them respect, or else do not go there. Simple enough. Number 5. No, sorry, number 4. I'm ahead of myself, so stepping back to number 4. Excuse me. If a guest in your lair annoys you, treat them cruelly and without mercy. Makes sense? Don't stand for shit. Number 5. Do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. Yeah, exactly. Keep it consensual, okay? Everybody, consensual. It's all you need. You don't need any spiritual backdrop to that. End of story. Number 6. Satanic rule of the earth number 6. Do not take that which does not belong to you unless it is a burden to the other person and they cry out to be relieved. Makes sense, right? Don't steal shit from anybody. Ever. And I'm talking to you, you sinner, you thief. Okay, number 7. For those of you who pray, listen up. Acknowledge the power of magic if you have employed it successfully to obtain your desires. If you deny the power of magic after having called upon it with success, you will lose all you have obtained. I'm not going to comment any further at this point. Again, like I said, this is debatable. This is all debatable, but I'm giving you the rules. Number 8. Do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself. Do not complain about anything to which you need not subject yourself. Right. If it's mind your own business. Simple. Mind your own fucking business. Number 9. Do not harm little children. Do not harm little children. Satanic rule of the earth number 9. Do not harm little children. I'm talking to you, Catholics, Catholic Church, Catholic Church of Canada. I'm talking to you. Satanic rule of the earth number 10. Do not kill non-human animals unless you are attacked or for your food. Respect all creatures. Unless they attack you, you can defend yourself, I guess. Why would a creature attack you unless they provoked? But that's not all. Those aren't all the reasons. Sure, if you're attacked, defend yourself by an animal, a non-human animal, or by a human animal. Either way. And for your food, if you have to, you gotta eat. Okay, so there's that. Although these days, he's got this fucking supermarket. Buy some food. You don't have to kill for your food anymore. There's already enough commercial killing happening for food as it is. Okay, so you should never have to kill for your food unless, like I say, it's commercial, government sanctioned, etc. Satanic rule of the earth number 10. I need to correct myself. Number 11 of the 11 satanic rules of the earth. When walking in open territory, bother no one. If someone bothers you, ask them to stop. If they do not stop, destroy them. Mind your own business, be respectful. Don't interfere in anybody's life unnecessarily, unless you're asked. Do not harm little children. You won't find that in the 10 Commandments. And I'm not even going to the 10 Commandments because they are stupid. Especially the first 4. Yes, the first 4 are really dumb, and the rest of them are just common sense, covered way more honestly and decisively in the 11 Satanic Rules that I just read out to you. Okay, so now, finally, we can move along. And where are we going to move along to? We're going to move along to our friend Caligula. Okay? Now, Caligula spells his name differently than the way you pronounce it, and he made it very clear yesterday in his reaction that how to pronounce it. So you pronounce it Caligula, and I was calling him Khalilula, and I was watching yesterday's live stream that I did a little bit, and I said a lot of Khalilulas, and it's not the way you say it. He said you pronounce it Caligula. Okay, so Caligula it is, and I will refrain from Khalilula. But before we start, before we get into the actual reaction video, or the reaction to the reaction to the however it works, I want to play this this clip here of Justin. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce Justin, Jussit, and then an N. I'm not sure how that works, but anyway, Justin Downing made a little audio discussing the problem with faith. This is the same guy who we're going to do the reaction video with after listening to this. The same guy, exactly the same guy. To show you how hypocritical people in general are, especially those who are scammers. And I'm going to show you how this guy's a scammer. An absolute scammer. You will love this. I'm going to peel him like an onion, because he's working on you, and I'll show you how. And he's got support. It's all about influence, power, and money, and I'll show you. Okay, but first, let's listen to this guy.
Hey, what's going on, my fellow atheists and atheist-friendly people? It's been a while, actually, since I did my last episode. I had a lot going on. Had to go down for some training down in Arkansas for the job that I have. Got sick. This whole coronavirus thing that's been sparking up. Just been taking care of a lot of stuff. So sorry I haven't made an episode in a while, but I'm ready to get back at it and get going. Yeah, to touch on this whole coronavirus thing real quick, I don't really know how to take it. Is it serious? Is it not serious? Is this something that the media is just overplaying? I mean, if you look at, the history, every time there's a presidential election, there's some kind of virus or disease or something that's going on. I mean, you also look at, the reason why this is broken out. And I mean, I don't specifically have a reason at all. I'm not going to jump to any conspiracy theories or anything like that, but I mean, if you think about it, there was a bunch of protesting going on out in China, and all of a sudden this virus shows up, and now the streets are clear. Too many things to put together. Don't want to come up with any conclusions because obviously I'm not an expert and I'm all about skepticism. I don't have any answers for you guys. Just stay safe, wash your hands, do the regular things that you need to do to make sure that this doesn't happen inside of your house, or at least try and help it. So today we're going to be going over a big issue within the realms of talking to theists and talking to atheists, having these fruitful conversations. And that is a 5-letter word called faith. So faith has a lot of different definitions for it. I mean, when you think of what is faith, it could mean so many different things. People use it in so many different ways within their life, whether you're religious or not. And I'm actually going to dive into a little bit about what each of these mean, how we can use them, the issues with some of these definitions, and what I believe faith is, my definition and my take on faith, and ways that you can try and tear down an argument once you've already brought it down to that you have to take it by faith measure. Either at the very beginning or towards the end of the argument, a lot of times you'll get, well, you just have to take it on faith, or it all starts with faith. I find that as a huge problem. And we're going to be going into why that's a problem. So first thing we need to do whenever we're talking to somebody that boils down to faith, we need to ask them what they mean by faith. How do they define faith? There's one where there's not really too much confusion when you're talking about it, and it's, what's your faith? Are you the Christian faith? Or are you the Muslim faith? Everybody's pretty much on the same page when it comes to that. They don't have to, explain why they think they're the Christian faith or the Mormon faith. I mean, that's used as a belief, and that's what actually in the dictionary it says. There's a couple different definitions for it, but the first definition is a belief. That's what it boils down to, is a belief in the dictionary, which I'm not going to argue with. If you want to go ahead and say that you are part of the Christian faith, I understand what you mean. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, but that's not the only way that we use faith. So we can push that one to the side, saying, "Hey, we already gotten that one pretty notched up when it comes to understanding what people mean when they say they have faith in that type of manner." A lot of people will go to the second definition, having like trust and confidence in something. That's what they boil down to faith. A lot of times, most of the time when it comes to my personal experience, I've gotten I have faith that this chair is going to hold me up. So I have an issue with that, because we're comparing a chair holding you up to be equivalent with my God, who has all supernatural powers and can supervise my entire life and tell me what I can and can't eat and who I can and can't sleep with and in what position. It's not exactly a good comparison, if you will. So when it comes to that, I have an issue with trust and confidence, because if you're using faith to explain trust and confidence, why muddy the waters with adding the word faith to it?
You know what I like? You know what I really, really, really enjoy is the flip flop. Now, there's a guy. In fact, I'd like to actually promote Darth Dawkins Debunk, the website. He's a YouTube channel, and he makes videos about Darth Dawkins specifically. And and some of the time, because Darth Dawkins is such a slimy, slippery, creepy kind of a sleazy animal. He makes these videos and he presents, Darth Dawkins saying something, and then when Darth Dawkins is about to flip, he says, "Now watch this magic." Now, that whole phrase by Darth Dawkins Debunk, the website, is beautiful, because it fits this guy. It fits this guy. He says he's all about skepticism. Did you hear that in the very beginning? He's all about skepticism. Okay, if you're all about skepticism, watch this magic. Listen to this guy. Okay, he sounds like he's honest, right? Now watch this magic.
If you have trust and confidence in something, just say you have trust and confidence. Don't add this extra word that's got all these umpteen different definitions for it and try and use it to bolster your religious beliefs. If I have trust and confidence in something, that means that I can be wrong. If you have faith in something, for example, a God belief, and you know that your God exists 100%, that means that your faith could not lead you down the wrong path. And I'll actually get into that a little bit later. When it comes to the trust and confidence part, just use trust and confidence. Don't say I have faith and that's equivalent to trust and confidence. We already have words that mean certain things. Don't add this extra word that doesn't mean anything when it comes to comparing it to trust and confidence. Another definition of faith comes straight out of the Bible. And this is the one that I like to use because most of the people that I talk to say that the Bible is the true word of God. It's the authoritative word of God. Hebrews 11:1 states that faith, and this is two different parts in the same exact sentence. It states that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So let's focus on that first one, the substance of...
Hold on. Okay, so he's going to the Christian Bible. Okay, yesterday in the video I mentioned that he's a Christian pretending to be a Muslim. And here is the... while he's speaking as an atheist, now he's referring to the Christian Bible, which he believes in, or he did believe in, and now he's decided that he doesn't believe in. So he's definitely a flip-flopper. Watch this magic.
Things hoped for. So I have no problem with hope. I hope for a lot of things. Hope is basically a confidence level or an type of optimism for things panning out the way that you want them to be. I hope that I keep my job. I hope that my kids stay healthy. That hope is perfectly fine. We're not boiling it down to an absolute certainty. By hoping something, I'm not saying that I know my kids are going to be fine. They may not be. They may get sick. They may, my son goes to a daycare all week long, and he may come home with some nasty bacteria that some other kids brought to the daycare. I don't know, but I can always hope that they are healthy. So the substance of things hoped for, that could be taken so many different ways. So substance of things hoped for, I see as, the hope of hope. It doesn't make much sense to me. And a lot of times when I talk to believers, like I said, most of the time, since I'm living in, America, the most predominant faith that I come across is Christianity. So when I say, what is faith? And they go to Hebrews 11:1, I got a series of questions that, that I need to ask them, just to make sure that we have clarity. If we don't have clarity, then we're going to start talking past each other. And a lot of people think that interrupting is bad. Interrupting is rude. You shouldn't do that. In a lot of cases, it is rude. But in some cases, if you're trying to get down to understanding and being on the same page as the person that you're talking to, there's really no problem with interruption. If you're trying to have them define terms that they haven't defined yet, or if you're just trying to make sure you're on the same page so you guys can continue the conversation without being, 15 pages apart from each other, that is fine. Because at the end of it, if you don't get clarity, then you're going to go right back to square one. And the conversation really means nothing at that point. So back to Hebrews 11:1. Substance of things hoped for, that's one thing. And then the evidence of things not seen. So that means that if faith is the evidence, that means that they are apart from actual empirical evidence. If I have evidence for something, I don't need faith. I can just produce the evidence. So how do I define faith? I define faith like my favorite atheist. I define faith as gullibility. I define faith as believing in something that you have no good reason for, or good reason to believe. If I have faith in this chair, and you're going to use that as the trust and confidence, then that means that this chair cannot fall. This chair cannot break. I have trust and confidence in this chair due to evidence. And that evidence is me sitting down in this same chair multiple times in my past and it not falling over. Now, that doesn't mean that the next time I sit in it, it's not going to fall over. But
yeah, see, this is nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Talking about a chair. Okay, a chair is something that you build. That somebody builds and it falls over if it's not built right, and if you're too fat or whatever. So what the fuck is he talking about? That the chair, 50 times, every time I've sat in it, it has never fallen over. But it might fall over the next time I sit in it, because I could never know. What a silly, stupid, nonsensical, ignorant statement. And I'm going to show you that this guy's got no intellect whatsoever. He's a scammy shanny. And I'm going to show you why I honestly believe so. I know so. Scammy shanny. It's a new word that I'm going to coin for anybody who scams on the internet. Like this guy and his cronies.
It's shown me its durability. I have evidence. I have personal experiences. And every single personal experience that you ever have is evidence of some sort. It could be anecdotal evidence, but it is evidence of some sort. So every time I sit in this chair, it doesn't fall over. It feels sturdy. It's held me in here for hours upon hours at a time. I have evidence to provide a reasoning for having trust and confidence in this chair.
That is gobbledygook. I have evidence and reason to have confidence in this chair. Huh? The chair. Okay, so okay. The point is, he's talking about a chair, having confidence that it won't fall over next time he sits in it. So let's see where it goes, because it's not making sense to me yet.
Faith is not like that. If faith is the evidence of things not seen, if it's not seen, that...
So, Allah, his new love child, is not seen. We know that. Okay? Everybody knows that. Humanity has never seen Allah.
In other words, in my interpretation, a lack of evidence. If you don't have any real evidence, let's chalk it up to faith and take it by faith.
There you go, Mr. Jussit and Downing. I like that. Jussit and Downing. I just gave you your new... Well, maybe you meant it. Maybe you do want to change your name to Jussiton, and I must go with what the evidence, where the evidence leads. The evidence leads me to pronounce your name as written Jussiton, but Downing is written as Downing, so I'll say Downing.
So, what if I'm a Muslim and I say, I know that Allah exists, and I take that on faith?
Yes. Now, what if you were a Muslim and you say you know that Allah exists, and you got to take it on faith, because that's all you got.
Or if I'm a Mormon and I...
Or if you're a Mormon.
Say Joseph Smith did what he did, and everything in the Book of Mormon is correct, true, and authoritative.
Yes.
That means that I can take that on faith.
You can do that. So he's brought up both Islam and Mormonism, both being sort of prophet-based and some type of revelation through either an angel or through the plates or whatever, and then written down, recorded by scribes of some sort. Okay, so this is Jussiton Downing talking about the problem with faith, specifically mentioning Islam and Mormonism. So far, let's listen to some more,
and then that provides my absolute certainty and provides my reasoning for believing in what I believe. Well, they can't all three be right. Christianity, Islam, and Mormonism. They can't all be correct.
They can't. You're quite right, Jussiton. They cannot all be correct, but they can all be wrong. Just want to let you know that. You know that, right? They can't all be correct. You're quite right. But they can all be wrong, because the laws of logic allow for them all to be wrong. The laws of logic allow for them not all to be true at the same time, even, or ever.
But they can all be incorrect. Since they are monotheistic religions, if they all take it by faith, that means 2/3 of what I just mentioned are incorrect.
2/3 of what he just mentioned are incorrect. So, when we get to the next video where he's flip-flopped and became a now watch this magic, as Darth Dawkins Debunked the Website likes to use in his videos, well, we'll see. We'll comment on that when we get to it.
Now, does that seem like a reliable pathway to truth?
No.
It is not.
No, exactly.
If 2/3 can be wrong, if 1 out of 100 can be wrong,
yes,
it is not a reliable pathway to truth.
Exactly.
That's the issue that I have with faith to begin with.
Okay, so that's Jussiton Downing has an issue with faith, and he's right. If 1 out of 100, it's like in scientific method, one false in one failure in a theory or an experiment, one failure, you throw out the whole thing. Okay, if the failure is confirmed and repeated and the theory, whatever, doesn't work, it's out. So,
now a lot of times people will say, "Oh, well, you just take that on blind faith," and then the believer will say, "No, no, 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 no. My faith is backed by evidence."
okay, right. How can a faith be backed by evidence, though? Because you've just said that faith, you have to believe it on faith if there's no evidence. Justin, please explain.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So you have a belief. That belief is bolstered by faith, and that faith is based by evidence. So in turn, you're saying your belief is based on evidence.
Exactly. What a nonsensical thing to say, right?
So provide the evidence. We can throw faith out of here right now.
Exactly. That's my point. Provide the evidence. Justin, you ask the right question. Provide the evidence. Muslim, provide the evidence. Mormon, provide the evidence. Christian, yeah.
If faith is just the middleman tying the belief to the evidence, we don't need faith. Throw it out.
Right.
That's the issue that I have if you're using it as the evidence of things not seen.
And I agree with you there. How can you possibly use faith as evidence of things not seen? Because evidence is empirical. Right? You're right. You're absolutely right, Justin.
Now, like I said before, anybody can use faith for anything.
Yes.
I could say I am superior to black people because I'm white.
Okay, this gets creepy. He could have said anything else. But to go and go to the race issue, when race isn't really a thing, race is a construct, it's a negative construct by humans. Okay? I am a humanist. This is where my brain is, and this is where it stays. Okay? It's inside my head. There's nothing about my brain that says I am white, or I am black, or I am northern hemispherian, or southern hemispherian, or whatever, or equatorial. Nothing. This man's, I don't know what you call it, latent, hidden, closeted racism is manifested by what he just says. He's going to start, if I was a white man and I thought I was better than a black man, something or other, which is the dumbest thing to say, because people are judged by their character, by their intellect, by their ethics. You see? So he's already dug himself the biggest fucking grave that he possibly could think of. And this is why he's not very smart, and this is why he's a scammy shanny, and this is why I'm going to show you how fake this guy is. So stick with it. Stick around. We've got some shit to go through here, and it might take a while. It might take more than one session, but we will get to it because we are the Marines.
And I take that on faith. Now, just because I have faith in that, does that mean that I'm correct? No, it does not.
No, it does not.
Because now we need to get into different situations. Are we talking about how fast I am? If I was to get into a foot race, which I can guarantee you right now, I probably...
Okay, so it's about physical things, okay? It's about bigger, stronger, better, whatever, physical. It's got nothing to do with up here, nothing at all. This is the disturbing part of this guy. He's blatantly racist.
Probably wouldn't win, depending on the person. If you look at the Olympics,
See?
A lot of our fastest runners, I think his name's Usain Bolt.
You see, he's using physical features to separate races, which are themselves a false construct, because race really doesn't exist. There's no such thing as 100% pure race. In fact, it's a concept that I still can't figure out. There's no evidence for race. You know, color of a skin doesn't impart any information about a person whatsoever. So to judge by that on that standard is problematic.
Usain Bolt, he is the fastest runner in the world.
Problematic.
He's black.
See?
If
So
I
what?
was to say that I am the greatest human in the world, point blank, better than any other human, that is...
This guy is okay. Just to sort of, as I'm listening to this, I'm thinking that this guy's pointing his way to showing himself to be a Darth Dawkins-like malignant narcissist. Tell me at the end, whether it takes a few days or a few hours or a few minutes, whatever. Tell me what you think. In fact, I'll probably open up the room for further discussion later on if there's a suggestion that somebody will come in, because my previous efforts have not ended up very successful.
Positive claim that I would need to bring evidence for, but if I just say I take it on faith, then you can't do anything about it. But I'm also exhibiting how I am leaving reason, how I'm not using reason within this realm of my life.
When you take it on faith, yes.
Because if I just take it on faith, that means that you can't falsify it because you don't know my faith, and it just gets into this big muddy rabbit hole that we go down to where it's unnecessary, it's unneeded.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of times I'll come across to where I've used this whole argument and I've brought it down to them being unreasonable. I've brought it down to, having faith in anything. You could literally take faith on any proposition you could ever think of.
Indeed you can. Yes, you can take faith. Anything you can think of. And it means absolutely nothing because it's just something you thought of. That's it, in your head. Nowhere else, in your head.
And that doesn't mean that it's actually true. Then I get, well, you have faith too. No, you have faith too. Well, what does that mean?
What does that mean, indeed?
Does that mean that you're saying that you're unreasonable, but I'm unreasonable too? That's an admittance
Is that right?
that you have absolutely left reason. That's an admittance that your belief system or your foundation for your belief isn't holding itself up.
Exactly.
It is just playing this childish game of I'm bad, well, you're bad too. Or I'm unreasonable and so are you. And let's just say we get to the bottom of it all and they're not willing to part from faith.
Okay. What happens then?
That's fine. You can have faith in whatever you want to, but if it comes down to a God belief, that faith does not describe what kind of God you're providing this faith for.
Absolutely.
You will have to presuppose whatever God that you currently believe in and presuppose his existence.
You have to presuppose whatever God you currently believe in and presuppose his existence. Right?
To be able to say you have faith in this God.
To be able to say faith you have in this God, you have to presuppose the God's existence without evidence to say you have faith in this God. Now, Justin said it very well right there.
It's unreasonable. It doesn't lead you to truth. It's not a reliable pathway to finding out what's actually true.
Indeed.
And if the person that you're talking to is not worried about that and they just want to have faith because they want to have faith, because they want to believe in what they want to believe in, a lot of people sometimes say that, the conversation's over with. And a lot of times I will agree. The conversation is pretty much over with.
Pretty much done, yeah.
Try and plant the seed, though. Try and at least get them thinking about it. Ask them, would you like to have a conversation at a later date? And maybe revisit this. Psychologically speaking, for somebody to remember something, it takes about 3 times for you to say it for them to actually latch onto it. So,
psychologically speaking,
try and plant that seed.
Okay, this guy's a kid who has no education, 0 education. He has a problem spelling, he has a problem reading. I've heard him read things aloud and literally say the wrong words that he's reading because he doesn't know how to read properly or something. And he certainly doesn't know how to write. He commented on something of mine and made reference to fool, but he spelt it F-U-L-L, F-U-L-L, fool, right? So he's not very well read. He's not educated whatsoever. I doubt that he's got high school. As an atheist, he's making sense. He's actually putting forward the argument, because it doesn't take a genius to be rational. Okay, it's normal. So here, he's being rational, therefore, ergo, normal.
Try and at least get them to think about it. You're not going to convert somebody on the first day or the first conversation.
So convert somebody from woo-woo to rational thinking. This is what I believe that he's what he's referring to.
Not how this works. This is a very long and drawn-out process of them being indoctrinated into a belief, or spend a lot of time listening to somebody tell them how true these things really are. Mm-hmm. It wasn't an overnight thing that they started believing, which means that it's not going to be an overnight thing trying to deconvert.
Right.
Maybe
deconvert, right? Deconvert. Christian, Muslim, Mormon, deconvert.
You're not trying to deconvert. Maybe you're just trying to have a good conversation. You're not going to get them to reason on the first day. So my only advice is to keep asking these questions, keep asking them and providing them these situations to where faith works against what they believe. And if they are using the same argument for their belief and the way that they're using faith, and you keep bringing up all these other situations to where other proclamations of faith are in contradiction with their own, they could eventually see the difference or the mistake that they're making. I hope this bit of information can help you out when it comes to having a conversation with somebody and they bring it down to faith. They bring the conversation or their belief to, you have to take it on faith. It happens a lot. It typically, almost every single time you have a conversation, boils down to faith at some point in time, depending on how you break the situation down. So I really hope this information was good for you guys.
That was great.
If you have any ways of doing it yourself that you've found successful, please bring it to the table. Let me know. Shoot me a message on SoundCloud. Put a comment in there, something like that, with somehow get in touch with me so I can possibly bring it up in a later episode. So that kind of wraps it up when it comes to...
Okay, so bring what up? The deconverting? Because he's pretty much saying you've got nothing but faith, you've got no evidence, and so if you want to just let that go, come talk to me. This is what Justin is saying. Come talk to me.
What I have to say about faith. We can get into it in a conversation that I may have or an interview I may have later in these episodes that I may be putting out.
Right.
Just want to plug it in here. I am going to be on a different podcast, not a different one, another one other than this one. This one's
really?
strictly for just basically talking to atheists about how they can have better conversations with theists. I'm actually going to be
talking to atheists about how they can have better conversations with theists. You hearing this? Are you listening to this? Darth Dawkins Debunked, if you're watching, stay tuned. Watch this magic.
On a podcast with one of my good friends who is a Christian apologist, and it's going to be called The Battle for Truth. He's kind of in charge of putting it out there on...
The Battle for Truth. Has anybody ever heard of that? Did it ever materialize? I have no idea. Let me know.
The media platforms. But I think he said it's going to be on every single large platform when that comes to like iTunes, Spotify, the whole works.
Sounds
this one right here is on SoundCloud, and I'm working on getting it kind of bolstered out towards all the mainstream, the rest of the mainstream media platforms. But we're gonna...
I would love to help you. I'll spread it far and wide. I'll spread this video or this podcast far and wide to spread the reality that there is no evidence for God. You need faith, and that's all. You're quite right there, Justin. You just need faith for God. There is no evidence. There is no God other than in your mind using faith. Correct? Yes. All right, he's wrapping up here so we can get to the Watch This Magic part.
A
Watch This
podcast to where it's going to be us having a conversation with each other, that you can see all of my arguments in action. You can see the way that I'm using them. You can see in which ways that I bring them up at certain times. And
he really has a high regard of himself. He thinks that he's an actual teacher of some sort, like a philosopher or something. Woo! Woo! Justin.
Maybe it can help. Maybe it can just entertain you, but at the same time, maybe you can try and take some of these arguments.
No, definitely entertaining. You're definitely entertaining. You're a clown, but that's entertainment.
And use them in your own life. Other than that, I appreciate you guys for listening. Like I said, sorry I didn't have an episode for a long time, but I will definitely keep up the hard work and try and get some more content for you guys to listen to. So. I really appreciate you guys listening, and I will see you next time.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Justin, for that. That was very nice. We do have a next up. Justin, what he did, you know what he did? This is what he did. He made a reaction video to me calling him out on his bullshit. All right? So we just listened to him in pretty much... He pretty much presented how I called him out on his bullshit by using his own video and his own reasoning. And now he made a reaction video to me calling him out on his bullshit. And you know what he says? He says, you won't believe what he says. He says, I am stepping in for that person that he was talking to, and doing damage control for that person that he was talking to, who, okay, the video that I responded to had no context. It was just him being. It was just him being having his ass handed to him by a kid, an atheist kid. Okay, that's what I saw. I saw a video of Caligula being handed his ass to him by this young kid. That's what I saw. Caligula, is going to tell you, or came back and told you in the last video that hopefully you watched, that I am just doing damage control because of what that kid somehow messed up. Whatever. Okay, so it's very weird. But now I'm going to react to that reaction. In fact, I'm going to hopefully not have to react too much, because this is pretty fucking gold, if you ask me. Right, so let me just do a better job of, there we go. Let's just do a way better job. Right. So, I don't need that. There we go. So Caligula, there we go. That's not what I'm looking for. Hang on, guys. Oh, there it is. Whoops. Ips. Just bear with me. I don't know how to use computers, man. I wish I did. Alright, so here we go. Are you ready for the main event? The main event shall commence right now. Ready? I'm going to give you a musical, hopefully a musical interlude. That's not going to work. How about that one? Yeah!
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for joining another episode of EA DAWAH. My name is Khalilullah, and this is a very special last-minute episode that I was just given some information from a mutual friend of myself and who I'm going to be speaking about, and they had just finished up a video just a few minutes ago of a review of me, and this is quite a hilarious video to watch. The video, and if you'd like me to, I'll go ahead and just bring this up real quick. So this is a video by somebody by the name of Sidney Williams, right? And just to make things extremely clear.
Okay, so I'm Sidney Williams, right? The guy doesn't know how to read. He seriously has a problem reading. Sidney Williams. Okay? He did say Sidney Williams. And if you look at the screen, if you look at the screen that he's just brought up, you'll see how he pronounces Winston. He reads Sidney Winston, he looks at Sidney Winston, and he sees Sidney Williams. All right? So thank you for that, Caligula. No problem.
Here, this is who we're talking about. This guy right here. Old Sidney Williams, right?
Sidney Williams.
Heretic, godless, agnostic, humanist, rationalist, freethinker, secular, infidel, non-believer. Okay? I have a lot of stuff to say about this. How can you be an atheist heretic? That would be my first question. Godless, sure. Agnostic, sure. Humanist, his video, he was attacking my person on multiple occasions, which crosses out humanist. Rationalist, he made a lot of irrational claims, and I'll be pointing those out for you guys. I've sped the video up.
Okay, I'm looking forward to you pointing out all these irrational claims, and I've watched this, and I know that he doesn't. There are no irrational claims I make. Number one, he doesn't point out any, and number two, he accuses me of not being a humanist because of I don't know, ad hominems or whatever he presents. I'm calling him out on, and he says I'm definitely not a humanist. And to be sure, he doesn't know what a humanist is, because he does exactly the same thing as he's accusing me of. So what if he in his mind I'm not a humanist? He behaves exactly the same way. He's not a humanist either, if that's the case. Which you'll see. It's kind of weird. He's really a strange one, and a dangerous. He's a danger, and I'll show you why he's a danger. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in this video. What he's going to reveal in this video. Number one, he's going to reveal that he's on a script. Number two, he's going to reveal that he is very, very, very influenced by the fundamentalist Christians and their behavior and their approach. Number 3, he's going to reveal that he has a military background, and number 4, that he wants everybody to donate money to him and his cause so that he can set up DAWAH tents and convert the masses into Islam. Okay, this is what he wants. Military background. He wants to convert into Islam. And guess what he wants? If everybody's converted to Islam, which is what he wants, there will be an Islamic flag flying on the White House as soon as he gets what he wants. Okay, so this guy is, watch this magic from the last video. It's stunning, absolutely stunning. I should shut up and let him carry on with his false prophecies, as you will see.
We're gonna watch the video at 1.5. I do believe that it makes him sound a little bit more intelligent when we speed up the video and let him talk fast.
Okay, so there was the first attack, first personal attack. Okay, right from the bat, he makes a personal attack, telling me that I sound more intelligent when my speech is sped up. I got a good mind to play this at the speed that is normal, but I won't. I'll just let him do what he wants to do and enjoy himself at 1.5 speed or whatever.
Sure. But he's also a free thinker. Well, here's the thing.
So?
I think you're a materialist, Sidney. And if you're a materialist...
Listen to this.
Then everything's just predetermined by the universe.
Okay, if I'm a... Okay, this is crazy. Materialism, if I'm a materialist, then everything is predetermined by the universe. What does that mean, Caligula? Everything is determined. I'm sorry, it just makes no sense.
Not that the universe chose it, but there's just a cause and effect that goes with it.
There's a cause and effect predetermined. See, how can he use predeterminism and then cause and effect in the same sentence with in the same thought process?
Everything. So, did you really think freely, or were you just determined to think that way?
See, he's a fool, isn't he?
I think there's a lot of issues with your profile picture here, bud. But he has this YouTube channel called Sidney Winston.
Okay, so my name is Sidney Williams, but my YouTube channel is called Sidney Winston. Hope you got that, everybody.
Got a huge follow. My bad. Okay, never mind.
Not huge. Damn right, it's not huge. 65
views so far.
No, that doesn't count. Look at the subscribers.
656 subscribers.
Yeah, baby.
So no, I hope his channel grows. I hope he gains more subscribers.
Thank you.
That this video will help him gain more subscribers. I commented a few times.
I got 2. I got 3.
Comment on it so far.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm going to go through this and hear some of the things that he has to say. He's reviewing one of my videos that I did speaking with some atheists. And here's the thing. This video right here is blatantly and obviously damage control.
There he goes. There he's on the damage control.
He's using this review of the video to where there's this punk little kid who I entered the room and he automatically started calling me a pedophile sympathizer.
Okay, this is nonsense. He enters the room and he's... Okay. I enter a room. Okay. I enter a room. Some pisher kid starts calling me a pedophile and whatever this guy was called. You know what happens? I'll tell him to fuck off and then I'll leave the room. But this guy, this Caligula enters the room, gets called a pedophile. Apparently, amazing. I don't know, because it's not in the video that obviously that I reviewed, because I reviewed the video and it wasn't there. Now he is bringing up right away something that wasn't in the video. So this is very, very fishy. Right from the bat, it's creepy. It's off. There's something wrong. This man is Um, he's not right. He's not all there. He's angry. He's still the angry Christian that I proposed or suggested in my last video about him. Listen.
And all these other things. And I responded in kind. I responded like a mirror to this kid.
Okay, that's not mentoring. That's not how you respond to people. Why do you mirror? Somebody's angry at you. Why should you be angry? You don't know why they're angry at you. And even if you did know why they're angry at you, you don't have to mirror their behavior. That's absolutely the wrongest thing you can do, is mirror the behavior of somebody else, especially if it's antagonistic, abrasive, combative, aggressive, whatever, right? So why are you mirroring the behavior of somebody who's just called you a pedophile? Why?
And I was very aggressive right back with him.
See? Aggressive. Why were you aggressive back with him? You're supposed to be empathetic. You're supposed to be exploring arguments or whatever the hell. Why are you aggressive when you don't have to be aggressive? You are a dangerous man, Caligula.
To which I believe is completely justified, because I act like a mirror to these people. So
I act like a mirror to these people. What the hell do you act like a mirror to these people for? Who are you to act like a mirror to these people? Caligula?
I'm going to do the exact same thing in this video. Normally, you guys can see me having very good, nice conversations with people, but this guy wants to be a prick, so we're going to go ahead and respond in kind.
In kind.
So let's go ahead and just take a look at some of the things that he says. Like I said, I've sped it up just to kind of get through it a little bit quicker.
Okay.
And we may not go through the whole thing. I just want to take a look. I only watched a few minutes of it and was like, man, this is amazing content that I actually have to put on my channel.
Thank you.
So if you guys want to, I will be. I did send out a message, just so you guys know. I sent out a message to Sidney. If you see down here, I sent a message, hey, doing a review for you, buddy. Feel free to drop by. So
thank you. Here I am.
Happy to have him or anybody else join the chat. If you'd like to, I'll go ahead and put
join the chat.
I'll put the
about what
the link.
About what?
In the chat here.
What are we going to chat about?
I want to go through some of this stuff.
Okay.
I want to go through some of what he was saying.
Okay.
Let me know if you guys don't hear this.
It's a little bit different. We're going to talk about a character who is a bit of an enigma, in that he's a little bit like J-Dubs, who is a Christian who presents himself as an Orthodox Jew. And this guy I'm going to watch or listen to today is also a Christian, but he presents himself as a devout Muslim. We shall see at the end of...
All right. So he's already saying that I am a Christian presenting myself as a devout Muslim. I'm very confused, because I've clearly stated that Jesus is not God. I've clearly stated that Jesus was just a prophet, and I don't need to go through Jesus to gain salvation.
And also, I might add, where am I? There. I might add that he has presented himself as an atheist, which was in the video that we just watched. Now he's presenting himself as a Muslim. So he's not sure exactly of who he is and where he stands and what the fuck's going on. And I'm going to show you what a scammy shanny this guy is turning into, or has turned into. I'm going to expose the scam.
I think if Sidney knew anything about Christianity, that he would know that to get to the Father, you have to go through the Son, right? I don't believe that, so I'm automatically disassociated from the group which is called Christian. Okay, so I don't see how that's the case. I think that he just has a misunderstanding for some positions and presuppositional apologetics, because that's where I think he's going. He just has this idea that everybody that talks about holding certain type of axioms as presuppositional apologetics, which I get from a lot of atheists. They don't really understand these things. So I'm here to hopefully Sidney gets to watch this video and get educated. I really do hope he learned something with this episode. And like I said, I messaged him. He's more than happy to drop by. He hasn't read it yet. So Sidney, this one is for you.
The video that we're going to watch and react to what is actually going on in this dude's head. But first and foremost, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sidney Winston. I'm an atheist activist and a humanist, first and foremost, out of Vancouver, Canada. I have axioms that I stick to when I debate. And here they are. All gods are imaginary. No question, no debate, end of story. Human evolution is proven by science. No debate, no questions, end of story. The 11 Satanic Rules of the Earth are more relevant than the 10 Commandments of Christianity. This one is open to debate. I would love to have any Christian falsify my claim, and I'm open to that at any time by a respectful Christian, which I don't think there are too many around.
You see how he's an angry atheist. He just talks about, I don't think there's any friendly. There's plenty of friendly Christians. There's plenty of friendly Muslims.
Yes, there are excuse me, there are plenty of friendly Muslims. There are no friendly Christians. None.
There's plenty of friendly atheists. You're just not one of them.
First and foremost, though, I am a humanist. What is humanism? Humanism.
Let's see throughout this episode how much of a humanist he acts like.
Is ethical humanism.
Okay, he's challenged me to see how much of a humanist I act like. Okay, now I better do something here, because humanism, I have a humanism, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so there's humanism. I'm gonna put it up here so you can see like that while he reads it, or while I read it.
Is rational. Humanism insists that personal liberty must be combined with social responsibility. Humanism is a response to the widespread demand for an alternative to dogmatic religion. Humanism values artistic creativity and imagination and recognizes the transforming power of art. Humanism is a life stance aiming at the maximum possible fulfillment through the cultivation of ethical and creative living, and offers an ethical and rational means of addressing the challenges of our times. So today, we're going to talk, about and listen to a Christian who calls himself Khalilullah.
There he goes with the Christian again.
Right? Khalilullah.
And by the way, it's Khalilullah. Just for future reference, brother. I understand that's a hard name to pronounce. I'm just letting you know it's Khalilullah.
Now, Khalilullah is angry. Khalilullah is an angry Christian wearing Muslim garb, it seems. A very strange man. This is a very strange person. And I need to just introduce this man. Here he is. Well, not him, but here he is.
Real quick, if Sidney ever watches this, Shane the Skeptic, he's an atheist. He's also a philosopher. He's a very intelligent person. You are confusing humanism with utilitarianism. At least that's what it sounds like. I would absolutely agree with you, Shane. He is looking at the greatest good for the greatest amount of people, which is separate from humanism. They do cross bounds in some certain places, but no, they're two separate things.
Here we go. That's his avatar, Khalilullah, an angry Christian, and he calls himself EA, which apparently.
I don't call myself EA. My channel is called EA Exploring Arguments. I call myself Khalil Allah, which he already said that, but then whatever.
Stands for exploring arguments. Okay, well, I'm not so sure that he really is exploring arguments, because as you'll see, he's very bombastic and dogmatic and angry, and he's right. And he's literally out of these 20.
Do you guys see how this is damage control already?
Years old, but he knows everything, and he's like Darth Dawkins.
I don't know everything, and I'm nothing like Darth Dawkins.
You do not question Kalilula, because Kalilula knows it all. Kalilula. So let me ask you: do you want to continue and listen to this man embarrass himself? Well, I don't care what you want. Actually, I do care what you want, and I know you want to listen to Kalilula. And because you want to listen to Kalilula, I present Kalilula. Okay, so Kalilula, take it away, Kalilula. That's how he starts.
Why does that make it true, though?
Why would that be a problem? That's how I start if I'm a Muslim. Just quick question. Because all the other ones show to be incoherent and logically contradictory.
What does that have to do with the religion itself, though?
It doesn't. It has to do with logic and reason and
Okay, so this is basically the recording. This is how it's introduced to the general public. Okay. What he was talking about with the guy calling him a prostitute or what did he say? He said the guy called him a pedophile. Sorry, because that wasn't that. As you can see, the introduction was just some Arabic. I mean, some Arabic singing, chanting, whatever. And that was it. There was no context. There was no, I'm doing a video about a guy who called me a pedophile or a prostitute, so here it is. But in his rebuttal in this video here, he mentions that, because right out of the gate, he knows that he is toast. So he brings up something that's not even relevant right in the beginning. So he does it for a reason.
the most reasonable.
So why would you choose a religion based on logic and reason? The whole point of the religion is that you have.
You see how when I posted this video, that it was posted with the angry atheist who's in here, who already, like I said.
So he's calling the guy in here an angry atheist, okay? And all this guy's doing is say, how do you use logic and reason to come to your belief, to your God? That's it. So that to him is angry. But it's a great question. How do you use logic and reason? But anyway, let's see if he actually makes any sense going forward.
Came in here calling me a pedophile.
Yeah, he's already mentioning the pedophile thing again, but there's no context in the video that I reviewed that referred to that, right? So he's got something on his mind regarding a pedophile, and he's a mirror. Remember, he's a mirror. So what exactly is he mirroring by continuously mentioning the pedophile, that he was called a pedophile? Answer me that, Caligula.
Sympathizer and all kinds of stuff. He's already off the bat hating me because I'm a Muslim, simply just because I'm a Muslim. And now
he looks for hatred as a Muslim. He's looking for it. He's anything that is said about him that is true but hurts because it's true is an attack on his Muslim faith, according to him. This is how he specifically uses that to his in his scammy shanny business. We'll get into that.
Asking me questions, cursing at me, dropping the F-bomb, trying to figure out why I believe something other than him. And then this guy, Sidney Williams.
See, I'm back to being Sidney Williams. But he got Sidney right every time. Every time he called me Sidney. Thank you so much, Caligula, for calling me At least Sidney. Nobody even has to call me Williams anymore. In fact, nobody's ever called me Williams ever before. You? I don't mind it. It's an okay name. It's like everybody's got it, pretty much. It's Williams, Martin. Those names are Jones. They're kind of catching up to Smith.
Is upset about that, and now he's coming in to present damage control.
See, again, damage control. All right, so according to Caligula, the only reason I'm doing that video was to white knight for the guy who's asking him a question that Caligula refuses to answer, or something, because he was called a prostitute, or something.
Blind faith in something.
Yeah, but that's not my belief. So, I mean, you can attack somebody else's, but if you want to talk about mine, then you're going to have to give the program.
Yeah, but what program exactly?
Logic and reason.
I have both of those.
Okay, cool. So then
See? Logic and reason.
we should have a fun time.
Okay, so what exactly do you believe in? What is it? Islamic? I forgot what it's called.
Wow.
Islam.
Yeah,
I know that's where it's.
He's thinking about the word Allah.
No, doesn't that mean God in your
Yeah,
language?
that's God.
Why do you praise Allah?
Why do I praise Allah? Because he is the, he's
That
the.
doesn't tell me why you praise him. You're saying
We didn't even answer the question yet.
you said he. You say he is.
I literally said
automatically tells me you're not going to give me an answer.
So if you're not interested in talking and interested in staying,
No, go ahead. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to give me a description,
well,
I'm not.
you're going to be.
See, there he goes. Now he's being very Christian and Darth Dawkins-esque.
I'm Christian and Darth Dawkins-esque because this guy has interrupted me while I'm.
No, bullshit. You interrupted him. You won't let him talk. You scared of him, Caligula. You're fucking scared of this young kid, and that's why you're acting all Christian-like and you're passive aggressive all the time. This is your new persona, the passive aggressive Caligula. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Answering his question, and now I'm saying that he shouldn't be interrupting me and let me finish my question. And if he doesn't want to talk, we can just move on to somebody else. If he's interested in monologuing, then fine. I don't have to be a part of this. That's what I'm saying. And apparently Sidney does not like that.
In his approach. Look at him. He thinks he knows everything. Quite a smug little bastard, eh? Quite a smug little prick.
Smug little bastard. That's what a humanist says.
Where does it say anywhere that humanists don't say you're a smug little bastard? We read it out earlier. You listened, or you pretended to listen, but I don't think you really did listen, because there are other things that are going to come up that for sure you didn't listen to. But stay tuned, everybody.
I'll get it in a minute. Yeah, I know he's gonna completely overtalk me when I'm giving him coherent answers.
You're going to challenge the coherent answers, okay? Remember he said coherent answers. No, I'm kidding. I mean,
I'm so goofy.
So like I can already tell he's a bull in a china shop. He doesn't want to have a decent conversation.
Okay, so now he's already at home. He's already setting this guy up as an enemy. Which is more Christian than it is Islam, in my opinion.
But that's fine. I can play that game too. So the reason
That's more Christian than it is Islamic.
What?
Hopefully, just that fixed things. I went ahead and closed up Discord. No, apparently it's not going to fix things.
He's more Christian than Islamic. Did you notice that he very quickly... Where's the other one? There we go. He very quickly dropped that question. He's more Christian than Islamic. I think he agrees with me, because look where he goes. He starts talking to somebody about something else.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to turn that off.
See?
The reason why I believe is because, or you asked me why I believe in Allah, because Allah is the causal principle, the necessary being in a contingent world that has intelligence and that used his free will to choose to actualize the universe in which we live in.
Did you hear that? Allah doesn't. Now, when you speak to Darth Dawkins, it's Jesus does it.
What he's missing here is that I'm not presupposing that Allah did this and starting my argumentation there. I start my argumentation much further before that, and then talk about why I believe that it was Allah that did this after laying a baseline foundation for a generalistic God.
That's what Sidney apparently is not. He's not ready to understand that yet.
No, not ready.
When you speak to J-Dubs, it's Yahweh doesn't. Now this guy says Allah doesn't. Right? He's digging himself a really deep hole here.
I agree.
He's tall enough to climb
I
out.
agree with myself.
How do you know that?
Exactly.
I don't know that.
He doesn't know that. So how do you make a claim if you don't believe in the claim?
Exactly.
Okay, no, maybe the content or the context is beyond.
Maybe.
Why do you suspect that?
Because I'm convinced of it. Can we choose what we're?
Okay, so he's convinced of it. Now he's going to ask me. Okay, good. I think this guy's digging himself a huge hole. He's got a really, really big shovel. So the hole's going to be big.
Convinced
But
of?
why?
I don't know. Why? Can we choose what we're convinced of?
Well then,
See, again, can you choose what we're convinced of? That's an incoherent question.
you're
Of course you can choose what you're convinced of.
Okay, this is where he really gets. He goes beyond his level of intelligence. When you're convinced of something, you don't choose it. You are persuaded. You're convinced. It's not a choice. Once you're presented with all the relevant facts, you are convinced or you're not convinced, but it's not a choice. The facts are still the same. But look at the analogy this man makes coming up. This is how slithery, I think, what a slithery group we're dealing with. Okay, this is not just one individual, as you'll see. This is a group, organized, and looking to be funded, aggressively looking to be funded by you, the viewer. You'll see what I mean.
Because that's what critical thinking is all about.
You can choose what you're convinced of. Sydney, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
watch
yeah,
this
yeah.
video, do you see what color shirt I have? It's a,
Yes,
it's a
it's
black
green.
shirt.
No, it's
don't worry
green.
about the letter.
It's
a
green.
black shirt, right?
No, it's green. Are you colorblind, dude? Are you stupid that you can't tell the difference between green and whatever color you think you're wearing? Ha! Seriously, carry on.
Please choose to be convinced
Yes.
that this shirt is green.
Okay, it's green. I told you it was green. Didn't I tell everybody that? Didn't I tell you that it was green? And he's asking me to choose to be convinced that it was green. Is this guy off his rocker?
Just freely choose to be convinced, genuinely convinced that the shirt is green. Can you
I can do that with a green shirt. Yes, anytime.
do that? Please let me know in the comments if anybody can freely choose to believe that I'm wearing a green shirt right now. Alhamdulillah. New member of brother.
Okay, here comes the, see the hands? The hands, look. This means thank you for the money. Okay? Because he is not only collecting lots of subscribers, congratulations, but he's working them for donations, for money. Watch this. Just watch the process. It's quite evident, but it unfolds. It's interesting.
Hamid. Thank you so much. Mashallah. Thank you.
See, then he goes into Arabic. Thank you, because this is money. Cha-ching, cha-ching, mashallah.
For donating to the channel. We definitely appreciate it here at EA DAWAH, and we'll be actually presenting. I just got most of the stuff in.
All right, start selling. Got to sell. Okay? Forget about Sidney Williams, and forget about the problems or the issues about this guy, this young kid that made a fool of Caligula himself, which I pointed out. Forget about all that. Let's sell. Let's try and get some money. Let's get some merchandising. Okay, here's the thing. Is Caligula a decent merchandiser? Do you think? Would you buy from this man? We pause for a message from one of our sponsors.
For a DAWAH tent that I'm setting up, and we'll be
DAWAH tent.
We'll be presenting more DAWAH out on the streets of Cincinnati, Ohio,
Mhm.
with me and a couple of brothers from my mosque. handing out free Quran.
All right, so this is religious conversion attempts, handing out free Quran, my brothers, okay? Just listen very carefully.
In Islamic literature, I just got a whole thing of brochures today. So, inshallah, we'll be able to do that.
So, see, as soon as he got the money, he went into what they're going to do with the money, which is quite telling, because it's to set up a DAWAH tent or DAWAH tents. Now, DAWAH tents, DAWAH, I believe, is spreading the word of the faith and converting other people, non-Muslims, to become Muslim. To the faith.
Let's go ahead and continue. Actually, really quick, before I do that.
Yeah. What?
Let me pull this up. Do not disturb. Okay, cool. Thanks, Kino. That should work. I think I got that turned off for you, Just.
Very nice. Carry on.
And I think we're about to find out that this guy doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
think so, but I
It doesn't.
So if I'm
convinced of it, huh?
You're praising a god that you don't know why you're praising him.
No, I never said
praising
that.
him.
I never said that. Don't straw man me.
Kind of what you're.
Oh, he thinks he's being strawman now.
I'm literally recording this right now, so I can post this online.
Why does you record like I
Okay, so he's recording this and making a total idiot of himself, and then he puts it up on his own channel. Oh well.
don't care if you record this.
Good. So just make sure you're representing me properly, because we can go back and I can make a complete fool of you after.
See, very Christian-like.
No.
Don't go back and make a complete fool of you.
Let's see, yeah.
Why does calling somebody a fool pertain strictly to Christianity? I'm very curious.
Well, he called me a fool. F-U-L-L, remember? If you go back into my the video that I made about him, I think it's in the comments below that one. He's again proving himself to be way above or way below his ability to produce a cogent and coherent defense of his position. It's a simple question. How do you use reason and logic to come to your God? And his response is passive aggressive and defensive. And it's just a simple question. Reason and logic. And he gets angry when he's asked to use reason and logic to explain his position. That's theism for you.
About that, I think Sidney might have been a Christian previous.
You see, this is where he shows himself to be a Christian himself. If he thinks that I might have been a Christian, then he's progressing. He's projecting a mirror. He's mirroring. He thinks he's mirroring, but he's wrong. He's projecting that he is a Christian himself, because I have never been a Christian. How does he know? How does he know that I have ever been a Christian? He looked at my Facebook. He presented it on his channel, and there's never anything in my background that says I was a Christian ever. Projection is what this is from this Christian.
And he is very angry at Christians, and now he wants to, because I'm out here putting his atheist buddies in their places and keeping them in.
Okay. This is where his narcissism just kicks in. Bang! Ha! I put them in their places because I got angry at them when they asked me how do I explain my God with reason and logic. I got angry with them and I shut them down. This guy's he's a fool. He really is a fool. But he's dangerous. He's a dangerous fool, and this is what we're gonna keep our eyes open for. Okay, see if you notice what I noticed.
Their lane. He's got to provide damage control and call me the thing that he hates most.
Which is what? What do I hate most? I don't hate anything. I don't hate anything. I am an atheist activist, and I combat bad ideas, really bad ideas. dangerous ideas, ideas that are ingrained in our psyches, that are bad and negative. Ideas like the dogma of Christianity. Yes, I hate that idea, and I actively campaign and speak about its obvious fictional background. But that is from me. He's telling you what I am. He's telling you that I'm a ex-Christian who hates Christians or something like that. He does not know me. He doesn't know me, as you've just heard.
It's insulting. That is not Islam. He's wearing Islamic headgear and trying an Islamic look, but he's full of fucking
Exactly.
So make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's.
Don't know exactly.
What that means?
Exactly. Why would you say that? You don't know what that means. You see, that's Darth Dawkins right there. Make sure you don't. Make sure you don't. And Mr. Batman. Make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's. Blah blah blah. You know, motor mouth. And the guy's asking, "What's that mean? What are you talking? What are you gobbledygooking on about?"
I know what it means.
Yeah, it's out of
Excuse
it's
me.
irrelevant.
What I'm asking you is, you tell me
Right.
the reason that you like Allah, but why
No,
do you
you
think that he did that? Why do you think he did those things? Like, do you have proof that he did those things you're speaking of?
Yeah.
I never said that he did anything yet. I said he's the causal principle of the universe.
Okay, this is where he gets crazy, right? His God is the cause of the universe, right? You just said it. Now watch this magic. Darth Dawkins debunked the website. Go follow that guy. Subscribe to that guy.
You said he used his.
I didn't say that he did anything. He's the causal principle of the universe.
Yes, okay, so he caused the universe, but he didn't do anything. Right? God caused the universe, but also God didn't do anything. Right? And he wants to use the laws of logic in his background. He said in the original video that he's using the law of logic to make a fool of this kid, which obviously he does. He made a fool of himself. And that's what caught my ears when I first watched this video, where he was claiming to have made a fool of the kid. And I wanted to hear how he made a fool of the kid, but watching the video, I see that he made a fool of himself. And now he's making a bigger fool of himself. But it's a free country. Go ahead.
Okay, causing something, last I checked, was actually doing something.
Right. So causing something is an action. And an action is a doing thing. Now, listen to this. Watch this magic.
So being the causing principle, the causal principle, and causing something are two completely different things, Sidney.
Really? Really, Caligula? So the causing principle and the cause are two different things. It's one cause, it's one action that results from there's one effect that results from the cause, but the cause isn't caused. Caligula. You make no sense at all. So I'd love to see where this goes. Caligula.
Are you aware of this?
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to pick up a philosophy book, Philosophy 101. Let's just.
Okay, so now he's doing the. I am actually an imam, and I know things, and you don't know things. I'm very learned in philosophy because I've been thinking. I've been thinking. I know philosophy. You obviously don't know philosophy, Sidney Williams, because what the hell do you know? You're just an ex-Christian. Angry ex-Christian. That's what you are, Sidney Williams. Does this guy get anything right? I don't think so.
Start there. On Wednesday nights, I do a class, so I'd be more than happy to teach you philosophy if you're really.
Did you hear that? I'm more than happy to teach you philosophy. Yeah, I can teach you philosophy. Okay, are you watching? Are you watching this kid? He's pretending, right? He's acting. I can teach you philosophy.
Interested in learning.
If I'm interested in learning. This is the guy who said he was a strong atheist in the first video I played. And he said he was like the king of skeptics. He opened up, he was a true skeptic. This is the same guy who is the king of skeptics. And he wants to teach me philosophy. I have sneakers older than his grandfather. And he wants to teach me philosophy. Now, I am mirroring Darth Dawkins onto Caligula. Yeah. Got nowhere to go with that, do you?
Did anything? You just caused something. So you never did anything. You just caused something.
Exactly.
Which is the same. It's just. It's viciously circular.
It's viciously circular, isn't it?
Doesn't understand what it means.
Okay, so yeah.
I don't understand what cause and effect means. I have no clue. Not a clue.
Yeah, he used his free will to create the universe. Yeah. Do you want to know why I think those things? Is that what you're trying to ask?
That's what I've been asking.
Okay, you could just ask that question instead of.
That's what I asked.
That's not like a
Passive
straight
aggressive.
I literally asked, why do you?
That's fine. That's fine. You can suspect that you said that. We can go forward from there. So I start off with studying epistemology. Do you believe that we can have beliefs without empirical evidence?
Do you think we can have beliefs without empirical evidence? Okay. Well, do you? Do you think we can have beliefs without empirical evidence? Just remember the question. Do you think we can have beliefs without empirical evidence? This is when he was Justiton in the video previously, he was a skeptic, and without empirical evidence, you got nothing, buddy, is what he said. And now he's Caligula, and he's asking, do you think we can have a belief in something without empirical evidence?
Not necessarily, but.
And I agree, no, is the question, no.
Okay, so do you believe that you are you and not...
Do you believe that you are you? Yes. Yeah. Everybody, if you don't have one already, get yourself something, like a glass of wine, a shot, or something, because you're going to need it. Because the series of questions that this genius is going to come up with center around, how do you know that you are you and you and you and you? How do you know? You can't know. He puts it best because he's so stunningly stupid.
Not something else?
Yes.
Okay, what's your demonstrable evidence for that?
What do you mean?
I'm asking for demonstrable evidence.
You're asking me why I'm me.
Yeah.
He's asking why. He's asking this kid, who he calls a crazy atheist or an angry atheist. That kid doesn't. There's no anger in this kid. There's more anger in me right now than in that kid ever. And he's asking. The kid is asking him, why? Where's the evidence?
Why you hold the law of identity?
Oh, now he brings up the law of identity. Remember, the law of identity is, I think I have the law of identities somewhere. Maybe not in this scene. But anyway, law of identity that he put in his original title was he destroyed this atheist kid with the law of identity, which is A equals A. In other words, you are what you are, and you can't be something else. Okay? There's really no relevance in bringing up the law of identity because he doesn't use it.
I don't know, because I was born into this world, and when I was born, I was given an identity.
Yeah. So when you were born, you were given an identity. How do you know that you are you and not something else?
How do you know that you are you and not something else? Because everybody, think about who you are and tell me that you are not somebody else. Go ahead, think. and tell me that you might be somebody else? How do you know that you're not you? Because you might be somebody else. This is this question that this Caligula guy asked the who he calls a young crazy atheist, huh?
Because I am a human, and humans
Wait,
aren't stupid enough to not know what they
You're
are.
already begging the question because you started it off with I, so you're already.
Okay, see, he's interrupted the guy. He's interrupted the guy from answering the question by making a stupid statement about how he's answering the question, because he started the answer with the word I, so he interrupted him right away.
Presupposing that you are you. How do you know before presupposing that you are you with demonstrable evidence?
What the fuck stupid question is that? How do you know that you are you? Tell me something, Kalilula. I hope you respond to this video, but how the fuck can you ask a question to which you yourself know that there is no answer to, or the answer is irrational or incoherent?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is not irrational and incoherent. I assume, and that's what I'm doing with this guy, that Sidney, you don't even understand what's going on right now, and that's monumentally hilarious part of me doing this review of your commentary on a video that I did. And I hope you join this video tonight. I really do.
That was his hilarity. Is all he can come up with? I think he's embarrassed. Right there. He's sitting there talking into his camera. He's embarrassed. He's realized that he's bitten off a little bit more than he can chew.
I really hope you join. If anybody knows how to get a hold of Sidney, please let him know, because I would love to see him.
Well, take a look, buddy. Take a look.
Well, yeah, Rajat. I know he has no manners whatsoever.
I have no manners.
But this video is just to kind of expose. Just to expose that. Real quick, James Henry.
Expose that I've got no manners? Is that what this video is about? To expose that Sidney Williams has no manners? And now he's going to... James Henry. James Henry was in the side chat there, I believe. And he's responding. So let's do it. Let's see what he says to James.
Yeah, I appreciate that, James. I just checked.
James has said that it's okay to James Henry. It's okay for me. It's okay for me to attack Darth Dawkins, but it's not okay for me to respond to the video that Caligula made. Okay, that's what I think is happening in that video, James. I'm going to open the room at the end of this, if I still have the energy anyway, which I have now.
His whatchamacallit, his Facebook page, and he's an atheist. He has godless, humanist, secular. He has all these things around his name. But yeah, that's what it is. He's an atheist.
See, you're twisting in the wind, buddy.
I'm so confused. You asked me why I mean.
And epistemology.
You're asking me why I mean.
Yeah, no. I asked you how you know you are you with demonstrable evidence alone.
Okay, I'll send you a picture. How's that? Will that prove that I am? Hey, I'll go on a video call with you in real time, and I'll talk to you face to face with cameras on. Will that prove you that we are we and I am I?
If that's the case, then join right now, Sidney. Join right now. Here's what we'll do. We'll do this.
Why don't I mute myself while I'm talking? He's going to be in charge. Here's what we'll do. Here's the plan. General Caligula. The Emperor. He's now Emperor Caligula. This is what we'll do.
This is what we'll do. Let's make this spicy, right?
Spicy? Why? What's spicy mean? What is spicy? Why not just... This is what we'll do, and here's the plan. But we'll make it spicy. You see, he's weird, man. He's worried that the guy called you up called him a pedophile, which he didn't present on his original video. And now he wants to make it spicy. What exactly is spicy? Let's find out.
Let's make this super spicy.
Oh, super spicy.
Let me
Okay.
try and bring up, where is it? Sidney Winston on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Who? I'm interested. Who is this Sidney Winston character on Facebook? I, of course, am Sidney Williams, and I have never heard of Sidney Winston. But Caligula is going to let us all know about Sidney Winston on Facebook. Oh. Oh, he's calling me.
Oh, come on.
Look.
Oh, no answer. Darn. Darn.
He tried to call
All right,
me.
well,
Can you
Sidney's
believe
not
it?
answering his phone.
Hmm.
He's not answering. Hopefully he comes and he answers.
You can call my phone.
Whoa, hold on a sec. Let's real quick just take a look at the Sidney character.
Okay, cool.
We took a look at this before, right? Let me
Yep,
bring you
yep.
guys up to the big screen, right?
Interesting.
Jazib, alhamdulillah. Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah.
Those aren't the only ones who are hating the fact that you became a Muslim, alhamdulillah. But what about to be a member to join you in your efforts and looking forward to do more with you, inshallah. I would love to, Jazib, message me.
Okay, so Jazib just donated money, and he took a break from excoriating Sidney Winston to inshallah about the money. And watch, more money comes in, and there's going to be more inshallahs.
Smoldering Fox became a YouTube member. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah.
That's
Thank you.
2 in 1 show, guys. Let's keep it going. If you're
Uh-huh.
able to and willing to,
Send money.
donate
Send
to the
money.
channel.
Donate.
Like I said, it
See?
will progress with the DAWAH.
Okay, so he's promoting and he's pushing memberships on people. Join, become a member, send super chats, send money for DAWAH. Unfortunately, I think I stopped in the wrong place, but let me just go back a few. There we go.
Guys, let's keep it going. If you're able to and willing to, donate to the channel. Like I said, it will progress with the DAWAH tent and places that I'm able to go, places that I'm able to rent out.
The DAWAH tent, renting out places. Now, renting out places is not cheap. There are costs associated. The rent, perhaps some kind of license to present. I don't know. There are costs. There's definitely a rental cost, and there's more than likely a municipal cost to do this. So he's collecting lots and lots of money, and I believe he's going to be, or is, successful at collecting this money because he is he's a salesman. He's not an educated person, certainly not a philosopher. He's a confused kid, but he's a good salesman. Okay, he's a motor mouth. You know, he doesn't have to make sense as long as while his mouth is moving, there's words coming out that say, "Give me money," Allah and Hamdillah Lula and all stuff like that. So, this is the plan. This plan that this is what his focus is on. Spreading DAWAH.
This will further that cause. Alhamdulillah, thank you guys so much for your donations. And these donations, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that He will, for all the effort.
Okay, now this is where he gets fucking weird. Okay, he's thanking the people who have given him money, and now Watch what happens. What? Listen to what is in the future for these people who have given him money.
That you make to furthering the expression of Islam into the world, your rewards will be tenfold, hundredfold onto the donations that you make. So
okay, so okay, did you hear that? So you make a donation, and your rewards will be tenfold. No, 100-fold what you make as a donation. Your reward. So if you give me $100, your reward is going to be $1,000. No, $100,000, because you gave me $1,000. That's how it works. So watch the scam. There's the scam. That is the scam. Appealing to that emotion is the scam.
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for everything you guys are doing. Let's see here. Yeah.
Okay, so he's looking for the money. He's catching up on the money. Forget about Sidney Williams or the Sidney Winston character that he's trying to roast from Facebook or whatever he's trying to do. I'm not quite sure. And why is everything so skew on my head? Yeah. So let's see where he goes.
So let's just take a look real quick. He says heretic, godless, agnostic, humanist, rationalist, free thinker, secular, infidel, non-believer. I'm kind of confused here, because now he's also got this picture.
Okay,
Sidney
so
Winston.
listen, watch this. This is how ignorant he is, and how he shows how ignorant he is. Watch how he takes something that is, it's a picture on a profile which you could probably take a couple more seconds to analyze before. What am I trying to do? Yeah, I'm trying to move myself a little bit out of the way so you can see. Hold on a second. Hold on, just all right. Okay, here we go. I promise you, I'm back. Okay, there. Right, bang. Okay, so here he goes to this picture, and he sees this picture, right? And there's 4 panels to this picture. And this is what this is how this genius analyzes the picture.
It's got that. It's got Canada. So
He's got that. He's got that. He's got Canada. So obviously
he's. I think he might.
I think he might.
No God theory person.
Then he goes down. Okay, that was the top left panel, and then he goes down to the no God theory person. He just says it. Atheist. Okay, and then he goes to
Ask an atheist.
ask an atheist. Okay, and then he goes to. He closes it. He sounds totally confused. Oh, Caligula, I'm sorry I confused you, seriously. No, I'm just kidding.
You come down here.
Yeah, as you come down here.
And there's some Jewish thing.
There's some Jewish thing. You know what that is? See that little drawing there? That is of a little baby. Probably 3 days old. He's buried in Jerusalem after taking a bullet while he was in his mother's womb at 8 months, into the 9th month. His mother and his father were standing at a bus stop, and someone drove by. Some people in a car drove by and shot at them with a machine gun or rifle. Wounded the father and the mother and the baby in the womb. The hospital did an emergency cesarean on the baby. the baby survived 3 days, but succumbed to the bullet wound and died, and that is a memorial to the 3 days on Earth that this baby spent under extreme stress because he'd been shot in the womb. But the reason that the picture's there, the reason that the whole thing is there, this Jewish thing that he calls it, is because that baby is my cousin, was my cousin. The mother who was shot is blood relative. The baby who was shot, that baby, is a blood relative. And that is why that is there. The Jewish thing.
Never forget that looks like the Star of David.
Mm-hmm.
Holocaust Memorial Week, okay, fine, that you don't have to be Jewish to know that. But
Correct.
Yeah, he's look, of course, look who he's friends with.
Look at that.
Old Ronnie Tate, raging atheist.
I'm very proud to be associated and friends with the raging atheist. He's got you beat in intelligence and intellect alone by 100,000 times. 100,000 times what you have. He's got 100,000 times more. Okay? So why are you making an issue about the raging atheist? He has got more integrity than you. He's got a way bigger set of balls than you. And he's honest. And you're not.
Now, Ronnie and myself had a really good conversation. And Ronnie was humble enough to say that he didn't understand these philosophical things that I was bringing up.
Really? Because you don't bring up things that are coherent. So your claim that somebody else doesn't understand anything that you say is backed up by what you say and what you've said in prior videos, which no one can understand, and I have said so. I pointed it out that you're saying shit that I can't understand, that nobody can understand. You're out of your league, Caligula. Out of your league.
So, alhamdulillah for him, he's humble enough to do this. This Sidney character, on the other hand, I don't think that he is.
He's what?
It's definitely...
That I'm what? I don't think he's what? That I won't bend to your will? What?
It's definitely, yeah.
It's definitely, yeah. See, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He can't figure me out. So he's rambling, and he ends up with with the most genius statement in the history of statements. He says, yeah. Like John Wick? Yeah.
It's going to start calling you anti-Semitic. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to start calling him anti-Semitic. Okay, yeah. Somebody called Truth in Knowledge wrote, now he's going to start calling you anti-Semitic. Ha ha. I think that's what it says. Well, why would I do that? Why would you think I'm going to do that? And why would you agree with Truth in Knowledge that I'm going to do that? You have no spine, Caligula. You're a jellyfish.
Yeah, we'll see what he does here.
Yes, we will.
And you and all this crap. Hey, rabbit hole.
As I can think
I
therefore I am.
have a
just started with the word I. That's begging the question. You're starting with your conclusion.
You see, interrupting, over talking, not letting the guy make his point. You pointing out his fault and how he's not answering question. He's not making statements correctly. This is how arrogant this guy is. He's going to teach the person he's talking to how to answer questions. You don't answer questions with an I because now you're presupposing whatever. I just Kelly Lula.
Presupposing whatever. That lets me know that this guy has no clue what type of conversation is taking place right now.
How so? Presupposing whatever. You can presuppose whatever you like. And that means I got no clue. Oh, all right, explain yourself.
Why don't you finish your point?
Then your reasoning.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The guy still said, you see, he doesn't know what you're talking about, and I don't know what you're talking about either, because you don't know what you're talking about. Caligula, nothing. You don't know, have a clue.
You see? What the fuck? I agree. and this guy Kelly Lula put this up on his own channel.
Claiming that I am me.
Bro,
You're
just
so
What a
stupid.
clown.
Just some backstory. I was a hard atheist.
Ah,
You're so stupid is what the guy said. And then humanist Sidney over here laughs hysterically at that.
oh, he's butthurt. Look how sensitive Caligula is. Oh, did I hurt your feelings, Caligula? Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. You're Caligula after all.
Do you guys see the hypocrisy here?
No.
I don't care what your backstory is.
5 months ago, I was a hard atheist.
You will listen to my story. Then I was a hot atheist. Holy shit. Shut up and listen to my story.
Atheist YouTuber. Okay, so I know how this works.
I was an atheist YouTuber, so I know how this works. You really are funny. It's sadly that you're funny, because you don't know that you're funny. You're not trying to be funny, but you're hilarious.
I know how stupid
Really?
religious
What's
people
your
can be.
YouTube channel, bro? I'll
So
go
I'm
right
going to
now.
bring you
What is
something else that you've never
No,
heard.
but what is it? What is it though?
What is what?
Give me hard evidence that you are an atheist.
I don't need to give you hard evidence. I don't believe
I don't need to see hard evidence, but I am me.
Well, this is where you just back into your safe space. This is what atheism.
You see, he doesn't need to give him hard evidence, but he wants hard evidence that how do you know that you are you? Give me hard evidence that you know that you are you. But he doesn't have to give hard evidence for anything. Flippity floppity Caligula.
Again, I'm just saying that this
No,
fucking
no, I
argument
don't-
is pointless.
yeah, no,
You're
it's-
asking
it's
why
very-
I'm me.
He just said he was a hard atheist, and now he says you're just backing into your safe space. That's what atheists do.
That's what agnostics do. See, he claims to be a hard atheist, and now he's backing up into an agnostic position to where he doesn't have to give proof because he doesn't have a burden of proof. See, Sidney, if you were actually following along with the conversation, you'd understand that. And I don't want to say that you're being dishonest here. Never attribute malice to something that you can attribute ignorance to. I just simply think that you're ignorant and can't follow along with the conversation. So I don't blame you for this.
Oh, I am blameless. Thank goodness for being blameless. I'm not at fault for thinking, and I'm forgiven. I'm blameless. So, why did you mention it again? If I'm blameless? I hope that was just a tangent that you went on.
I don't think this guy was ever an atheist. I think he was born a Christian. He still is a Christian. He argues like a Christian. He makes stupid, irrational, incoherent statements like a Christian. He's a Christian.
What?
Oh wait. Let me know when you're done.
Law of logic, law of identity.
No, it's not the law of logic. The classical law of logic consists of the law of identity, non-contradiction, and excluded middle. I'm asking science specifically.
You're arguing
how
that
he
I'm not
does-
me.
what I'm doing is I'm showing you that you can hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence. I know you're not
I
getting
never said that you could.
You literally said I got it.
Alhamdulillah, Sister Salma. Salma A, thank you very much for becoming a YouTube member. Alhamdulillah.
See? Money. As soon as money is all alhamdulillah, lula, send more money. Let's grow the group. Lula, lula, lula.
Thank you so much for your donations. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's try and bring this number up. We'll
You see? He gets $10 and he asks for more.
be able to get this 10 up here soon. And I actually have a Hero 9 that one of my subscribers, good friends on Clubhouse, he sent me a Hero 9.
He's throwing a Hero 9. I'm not quite sure what that is, but whatever it is, it's something that has been donated to him, and he's going to. I don't know what it is. So, but alhamdulillah and all that kind of stuff. Send more, more people, more money. Come on.
that Hero 9 is going to be used to record some of these conversations, so I can record some of the shahadas that we'll have at the tent.
Oh, it's a piece of electronic equipment for the shahada, recording a shahada. Okay. So there's going to be a DAWAH tent. The Hero 9 is going to be recording people who proclaim the shahada and become Muslim. Detective Sidney Williams figures it out.
Inshallah, it will have recordings of some of these discussions that I'll have with atheists and Christians while I'm providing dawah and providing these free Qurans to hand out to the community. So inshallah, let's keep.
So he's going to be buying Qurans to hand out to the community with the money that you guys send. So the plan is to spread dawah. The plan is to get the shahada said as many times as possible by as many different people as possible. That's the plan. Islamic. So his plan is to convert everybody to Islam. Well, it's a plan, and I guess dollars. You vote with your dollars, right? And if people send him enough money for him to realize the plan, then the plan works for him. And if the plan is just to make the money, because he can do it. He's got that that enigmatic background, right? He's professing to be this big philosopher and then the knower of knowledge, the bringer of knowledge, from a hard atheist to a Muslim, and now he's part of the Muslim culture. And he's going to spread it, and people are looking up to him because he's different. He's crossed a line somewhere, and people look for a leader, somebody to praise, right? And he gets all the praise that he's looking for, with all the alhamdulillah, thank you for the money, we must grow. So really, he's a salesman, okay? He's trying to be Joel Osteen of the Muslim world. So there'll be a Christian Joel Osteen and a Christian Caligula. Is there place in America for both? We shall see.
Keep going, guys. And like Saeed said, which is one of my first followers here at this channel.
What about Sidney Williams? He's talking about your followers. For Sidney Williams, he's probably, because I can only speak for myself, he's probably kind of miffed that you've forgotten about him. Sitting there talking about money and followers and groups and spreading dawah.
Once I became a Muslim, he said, "Welcome to,"
and some private biographical history. Where is the anger at Sidney Williams?
Well, all the new members. Now, all the new members, you guys will be, if you look down in the description of the video.
All the new members, okay, thanks for the money. Check out this is a commercial break. Sidney Williams doesn't matter anymore. All that anger that he has could just wait.
All the patrons and all the paid YouTube members, you guys are mentioned at the very bottom in the description of every single video. So in the next video, and actually I'll do it for you guys in this video, since we're having so many people join on this episode, that I will actually add you guys.
Hold on a second. So many people joining on that episode. They're joining because of me. I'm the big draw. So many people joining on that episode where he talks about Sidney Williams. Sidney Williams must be some kind of a magnetic character. Huh. I wonder how he does it. What's the secret, Sidney Williams?
To this one, so you guys will have a shout out. So at the end of this video, for anybody that does join, I'll go ahead and shout out all of our patrons, all of our YouTube members, and give you guys a special thanks for donating to the cause.
A special thanks? What's a special thanks? Alhamdulillah, everything you've donated, you will get back. Every dollar that you donated, you will get back 100 times your donation. Alhamdulillah, you know, and then all this kind of stuff. Thank you for donating.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
They recorded.
I said.
Can
Okay, forget about it. Let me go through these laws of logic with you one at a time. I'm doing it specifically for you, Kalilula, just to make sure that we're on the same page.
Mhm.
Right. So, number one, first law of logic, the law of identity. A is A. Everything is the same as itself.
So when I said you are you, how do you know you are you? And
Because, okay, hold on a second. Let me get back on screen here. Let me try and get back on screen. Where the hell am I? No, there we go. Okay, how do you know that you are you? First law of identity, A is A. It says there, A is A. Everything is the same as itself, okay? It says, that's an axiom. A is A. And what this guy thinks he's such a genius philosopher, asks the question, how do you know that A is A? How do you know that you are you? It's a law of identity. And the law is A. You don't question the law unless it's a law that is irrational. But the law is A. And he's trying to ask, A, how do you know that you are A? The law says A is A, but how do you know that you are A even though you are identified as A? That's how dumb this individual is. At least that's why this is what he's showing me.
not something other than you. So listen, the law of identity, everything is the same as itself. A is A.
Right.
The law of
That's it?
non-contradiction, it's
Okay.
not A and not A. How do you know that you are yourself and not something other than you?
Because the law of identity says you are you.
Evidence.
Silly.
That's what I'm asking, Sidney. That's what you're not understanding. You're literally laying out the definitions that I'm using to show this kid how he can hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence, and you're just providing just the most horrible amount of damage control that you possibly can to try and show that this guy is actually making sense and I'm not. This is hilarious.
This is hilarious. So, okay, let's go through this again for your benefit, Caligula, because you're a little slow. And I'm sorry to say it to I'm being very constructive there in my criticism. You're slow, and I recognize that, so I'm going to try this again. The law of identity, A is A, everything is the same as itself. Okay, so you are Caligula, and I am Sidney Williams. How do I know that I'm Sidney Williams? Because I'm Sidney Williams. How do I know that you're Caligula? Because you're Caligula. How do you know that you're Caligula? Because you're Caligula. Okay? It's really, really simple. And you don't get it. You actually think that by questioning a law like the law of identity, how do you know? The law is A. And if you are A, how do you know that you are A? Is what he's trying to say. And it's irrational, incoherent, and illogical. And people are donating money to this man on the basis of irrational, incoherent, and illogical. Generally, in my experience, people are stupid. And it's the stupid that's buying the sales pitch of Caligula.
Laws of logic. Number 2. the law of non-contradiction, not, open bracket, A, and not A, close bracket. Nothing can both exist and not exist at the same time, and in the same respect, or no statement is both true and false. Laws of logic. Law number 3, the law of exclusion. Either, open bracket, A, or not A, close bracket. Something either exists or does not exist, or every statement is either true or false. Okay? Now we brought the law of identity into the mainstream here, into the conversation then, should I say the monologue that this guy's screaming at his opponent, and let's see how he understands, how well he understands his law of identity, which I think is what he's going to emphasize.
You hold reasonable beliefs. I said specifically, I said specifically, can you hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence? And you said no.
So honestly, you're stepping in about 2 decent-sized landmines.
See, that was an atheist that literally told his other atheist buddy that he's stepping in 2 decently sized landmines.
Okay. All right. So that guy. Somebody said something. All right. I'm gonna go back a bit because I'm not quite. I think this guy. I think he's losing the plot. This Caligula's lost the plot.
Nothing can both exist and not exist at the same time, and in the same respect, or no statement is both true and false.
Okay.
Laws of logic. Law number 3, the law.
Sorry, I went back too far.
Either, open bracket, A, or not A, close bracket. Something either exists or does not exist, or every statement is either true or false. Okay? Now we brought the law of identity into the mainstream here, into the conversation then, should I say the monologue that this guy's screaming at his opponent, and let's see how he understands, how well he understands his law of identity, which I think is what he's going to emphasize.
You hold reasonable beliefs. I said specifically, I said specifically, can you hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence? And you said no.
So honestly, you're stepping in about 2 decent-sized landmines.
So some guy says something about, honestly, you're stepping on 2 decent-sized landmines. I don't know what it's referring to and who he's talking to, but it makes no sense to me. And watch how this Caligula makes a huge deal about nothing.
See, that was an atheist that literally told his other atheist buddy that he's stepping in 2 decently sized landmines. Let's see if Sidney has anything to say on that.
Okay, maybe I said that.
Do we want to change that? I'd be more than happy. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I do.
Sounds like he's remaining silent.
This-
Okay, we're not going to bring up the fact that there's another atheist in the room that is telling this guy that I'm speaking to.
How does he know that guy who said something about the landmines was an atheist? I think that guy who said that statement about the landmines is a Catholic. Prove me wrong. See, this guy thinks he doesn't think. Simple.
That he's making some big problems.
Believe that it is possible to make a belief without empirical evidence, but I myself probably, when it comes to religion, I do not like to think
That's
that.
fine. We're not talking about religion right now. We're just
And
talking
yeah,
about epistemology.
Okay, can you explain to me how you know you
Why
believe?
don't you-
Because that'll give me an understanding.
Because I
what you're asking.
presuppose the law of identity as an axiom because I have no way to reason to it.
There you go. He presupposes the law of identity as an axiom, and he's got no way to reason to it. Yet he asks somebody else, "How do you know that you are you?" So he presupposes that he is himself. But how can anybody else presuppose that they are themselves? Okay, guys, if you're donating, just be aware that you're donating to the Village Idiot.
There's your answer right there, Sidney. When you say, well, you don't have an answer to this either, like you said earlier in this video. I don't have an answer to rationalize to it. I don't have empirical evidence to show you that this is true, like this kid is saying to me.
Exactly. You don't have empirical evidence. And if you don't have empirical evidence, you have nothing.
I'm saying that I take it as a presupposition. I axiomatically presuppose it to further investigate my world. It's what we as human beings must do. And like it shows in my chat here, I can go back up to Shane the Skeptic, who is an atheist philosopher.
He's appealing to some higher, some perceived higher authority. An atheist philosopher, Shane the skeptic. He's an atheist philosopher. He calls himself a Shane the skeptic. So he's not sure, but he's a skeptic, and he's an atheist philosopher. Yes, that carries a lot of weight, and has a lot of standing to Caligula, but to no one else. Who cares? What's your point that Shane the skeptic is an atheist philosopher? What is your point, Caligula?
He even says, where is it? Let me find it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where is it? Shane the skeptic.
Come on, find. Come on, you're playing me at 1.5 speed, and you're taking your time dawdling along there. Come on, get it together, Caligula.
Trying to find it. Give me a sec.
Do I have to play you at 1.5 speed, Caligula?
There it is. I recently debated a precept and agree with you that a lot of atheists mistake someone having a presupposition with them being a presuppositional apologist. I admit to having presuppositions. Thank you, Shane.
Absolutely incoherent. Whatever Shane the skeptic has just written there. The atheist philosopher, Shane the skeptic. Please, do not forget that. Made no sense. But this guy, like, robotically just read it off. Caligula just read it off as if it had any meaning whatsoever, which it doesn't. I'm starting to get the feeling that Caligula is just low-hanging fruit.
You know what I'm talking about. You understand it. But somebody else doesn't understand it, so then they go make a stream trying to talk crap about me and claiming to be a humanist while they're sitting here calling me names, laughing at other people calling me names.
I mean, okay, you're getting butthurt again. It's very sensitive. For a Muslim, it's very sensitive. And for a Christian, fuck. This is crazy. He's angry. He admonishes other people, but he's very sensitive himself, and he cries about it. Listen to him crying about it.
I have I prior military, so I have a.
Oh, this is where he gets prior military. Okay, so he's looking for money to spread DAWAH, which is Islam, to everybody, to get them to say the Shahada through this Hero 90 machine, whatever, and get recorded, building up this Islamic community of Shahada saying Canadians or Ohioans, Cincinnatians, whatever you call yourselves. And he's ex-military. This is where my ears pricked up. He's ex-military. DAWAH, ex-military. What exactly is the connection? Is the red flag that went up. Boop! DAWAH, ex-military. Now I'm ex-military. Boop, 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 boop. America. Okay, so I don't know where. I honestly still don't know where this is going with the ex-military. But he did bring it up, and so keep it in the back burner there, okay?
I have a hard backbone, right? So I got some tough skin. I really don't care what you call me. But if you're gonna claim to be something and completely contradict what you're claiming to be, that's a problem.
Okay, well, who's contradicting? You claim to be a hard atheist. Now you're claiming to be a Muslim. That's the problem, according to you. You're a contradiction. You're a walking contradiction. You're the poster boy for hypocrisy.
Let me help you out, so I just rant so that you don't know it and see where the conversation goes.
Exactly. I'm confused what he's even asking me. I don't know how I know what
Exactly. He's not asking coherent questions.
kind of
How
question
do
is
you know your you and not something else? It's a pretty simple question.
So this guy who he says is another atheist says, how do you know that you are you? It's a very simple question. He's agreeing that the question, how do you know that you are you, is coherent. But it's not coherent. How do you know that you are you and not someone else, or not something else, or whatever? he can't answer the question himself. It's a silly question. It's a nonsense, irrational question.
I mean, but just
Hey, look, how do I not know I'm me and I'm not something else? Because if I'm
Yeah.
something else, I'm pretty sure I would know.
Exactly.
You wouldn't exist. No, you wouldn't exist because you would be a true contradiction, and true contradictions don't actualize in reality. Are you
Okay.
lost?
I'm just not going to talk to you.
Yeah, of course he's lost because you've just spoken nonsense. You've just gobbledygooked with your motor mouth. And this is the attraction to the people who throw money at you because you're wearing and pretending to be a Muslim. And boy, people love supporting when other people do the work for them. In other words, do what they claim to be right for the cause, but really are doing it for the business, because there is no coherent cause. It's all trying to make a living. I think it's like how Joel Osteen got started.
You're asking me something that doesn't make any sense.
No, actually, Ethernet, am I making sense right now?
yeah, no, I know.
No, you're not.
I see exactly what you're saying. Is
See.
He said, "Yeah, no. Am I making sense right now? Yeah, no." And then, C.
Sidney just had to interrupt the other atheist in the room that says he does understand what I'm talking about.
The other atheist in the room, he's the other alleged atheist in the room, who he said knows what I'm talking about. When the young kid that he's talking to, doesn't know what he's talking about, and nobody else knows what he's talking about, because what he's talking about is a simple question: how do you know that you are you? That's what he's talking about. Silly question. The other atheist in the room seems to think it's a coherent question, but it isn't to anybody else on this planet.
He does understand everything that I'm saying. He had to silence the other atheist to say that I don't make any sense, which is exactly why I'm saying that this is damage control.
Damage control.
This is Sidney trying to.
You see. He says this is the mirror, right? He said something about the mirror in the very beginning. So what he's doing, what Caligula's doing, is damage control. He's doing the damage control to himself by projecting and reflecting. Well, he's not reflecting, because then I'd be doing the damage control and he'd be making a correct accusation. But I'm not doing damage control, because there's no damage to control other than his damage. And I'm not going to control his damage. He can control his own damage, which is what he's doing with the projection. So he's an open book. He's very easy to read.
Put the pieces back together for his buddy here.
totally. The one thing I do have a question about, the last thing you said, is under the standard laws of logic, nothing can exist that's contradictory. Right?
Real quick to answer Shane the Skeptic. So I'm clear, my belief in God is not a presupposition, right? No, I do not presuppose the existence of God.
Okay, so he does not presuppose the existence of God. Okay, he's just said it. So how does he get to God without presupposing?
I go through cosmological arguments to get...
Okay, cosmological arguments don't get you to God. He doesn't presuppose God, and he's used because of cosmological arguments which don't get you to God.
to a generalistic God.
Oh, cosmological... Hold on.
Totally. The one thing I do have a question about, the last thing you said, is under the standard laws of logic, nothing can exist that's contradictory. Right?
Real quick to answer Shane the Skeptic. So I'm clear, my belief in God is not a presupposition, right? No, I do not presuppose the existence of God. I go through cosmological arguments to get you to a generalistic God.
Okay, goes through cosmological arguments to get to a generalistic God. You know what that is? That's nonsense. That is word salad. And go through a cosmological argument to get to a general a generalistic God. Did you hear that? I go through cosmological arguments to get to a generalistic God. That is nonsense. That is shit speak. Bullshit speak.
You know, like I said, argument for intelligence, argument for free will, sustainability, all of that gets you to a generalistic God, and then
All that gets you to a general. See, he just makes assertions and claims. He runs through it quickly. Cosmological argument gets to a generalistic God and the intuition and the. Okay, let's hear what he said. It's worth repeating because it's very profound. It's profoundly revealing.
Totally. The one thing I do have a question about the last thing you said is, under the standard laws of logic, nothing can exist that's contradictory. Right?
real quick to answer Shane the Skeptic. So I'm clear, my belief in God is not a presupposition, right? No, I do not presuppose the existence of God. I go through cosmological arguments to get you to a generalistic God. Like I said, argument for intelligence, argument for free will, sustainability.
Argument for intelligence, argument for free will, argument for sustainability. Intelligence, free will, and sustain. Okay, so you from the cosmological argument brings you to intelligence, free will, and sustainability. According to the rationale and the logic of Caligula.
All of that gets you to a generalistic
And all of that gets you to a generalistic
God,
God.
and then I pinpoint the Islam.
And then he goes to Islam. Okay, so cosmology, generalistic God, intelligent, sustainable. What was the third one? I forget. Doesn't matter. And then he goes to Islam. Are you buying this? Are you really buying this?
Islamic God from using the three classical laws of logic to do an internal critique.
Okay, okay. This is where he really fucks up. He just said he uses the three laws of logic to do an internal critique.
To a generalistic God. Like I said, argument for intelligence, argument for free will.
Okay, the free will was the second one.
Sustainability, all of that gets you to a generalistic God, and then I pinpoint the Islamic God from using the three classical laws of logic to do an internal critique on all models presented to me, and I find out, through.
Okay, this is crap. All this nonsense that he's talking now is just plain pure crap. And I use an internal critique.
Through internal critiques, if a certain God claim or religion has any internal contradictions, and then I toss it out the window because I don't believe that things can be logically contradictory. I don't.
Yeah, he doesn't think that things can be logically the three laws of logic, the law of non-contradiction, states that nothing can be logically contradictory. But he doesn't think so. He's not convinced about the laws of logic which he uses. He uses the laws of logic, but doesn't believe in the laws of logic. He thinks in his case, the laws of logic don't have to make sense. That he can change them. This is how scammy shanny this guy's becoming.
Believe that those things can exist in reality. I don't believe in true contradictions. So if it is truly contradictory and it doesn't look like there is a reconciliation, I will put it to the side and keep trucking forward. So yeah, how does that get you to Islamic God?
He didn't answer the question, right? I'll just keep trucking forward. That's how it gets me to the Islamic God. I will keep trucking forward.
Did somebody say something about me doxing this guy? Because I have not given any of his information out. I just showed his picture on Facebook, which is a public thing. So anybody can just type in Sidney Winston, which is his YouTube channel name. I agree. Doxing is not okay. Yes. Just to clarify, for Sidney, when you watch this, my presuppositions would include, and this is from Shane the Skeptic.
Well, why are you including Shane the Skeptic's presuppositions? Why don't you include your own? But anyway, have If you want to use Shane's and you can't think of your own, that's fine.
The atheist philosopher that actually knows
The atheist that actually
what
knows
this conversation is
okay.
about.
Good.
His presuppositions would include one, that reality exists, that he's not dreaming or brain in the vat.
Right. How do you know that you exist? Law of Identity 1, Shane the Skeptic, atheist philosopher. Done. That's how I know.
That is the hard problem of solipsism.
What the fuck does that actually... Why do you even have to bring up the... whatever this hard problem is that you're having?
He says that he presupposes that reality is real. And that would also presuppose...
Okay, so he presupposes that reality is real. Is that different from anything else? Even if you do presuppose reality is real, or you don't presuppose that reality is real, either way, reality is real.
that other human beings exist, that other minds exist. 2, logic and reason work.
Yes, logic and reason work.
That is also a presupposition that both...
It's not a presupposition. The laws of identity, the laws of logic, are axiomatic. They're axioms. You don't get it. You just don't get it, Caligula. Don't get it. But, you're a kid. You're a young kid. You'll learn.
Us hold. And 3, my empirical senses are reliable. So when he presupposes that his a posterior senses and ways of
No, he said he didn't say a posterior. He said his empirical senses. Empirical senses. Smell, touch, empirical hearing, sight. Your skin's a whole organ that is a sense organ. I mean, we should make sense. You're driving the whole world crazy with your nonsense.
Using his senses to investigate the world around him, he assumes axiomatically that those things work properly.
Okay. You don't assume axiomatically. Axiomatics are not axioms do not have to be assumed. Axioms are actually laws. The axioms that you're referring to are the axioms of the laws of logic, the law of identity, the law of non-contradiction, and the law of excluded middle. You don't assume anything, Caligula. You really don't. Okay? You've got it all wrong. Now, you're going to have to respond to this video with getting it all right. Okay? I'm going to give you another chance.
Those are presuppositions that human beings hold, Sidney. Thank you very much for clarifying, Shane. You are fantastic.
So if human beings hold these presuppositions, what's your point? We're all human beings. We all hold these presuppositions. Why do you mention it to me, a human being? If all human beings hold these presuppositions and you know it, then why are you mentioning it, Mr. Big Shot? Why?
Yeah, for me that's a starting investigatory point to where if something is logically contradictory internally, then I automatically dismiss it from existence.
And how are you able to come to that conclusion without using logic?
I presuppose logic.
With logic.
Well, can you
What do you mean with logic? No, there is nothing to.
You see, this is where he's dug himself a hole to the point where he's hit water.
Okay, so let me give you guys a rundown of what an axiom is. An axiom
I'm already reacting to that. Sorry.
an axiom is a belief that you hold without reason.
Let me give you a rundown of what an axiom is, okay? I'm going to do just that. My axioms.
Okay. This is the thing. Okay, I'm looking up. I was looking for the little thing that had got my axioms, right. This thing here. I'll show you there. All right. So look, I was looking for my the axioms of the universe and of Sidney Winston. It's a text that I've got to find and present. You either present them or you hide or you unhide, basically. So I'm looking for this. Let me do this here. I'm looking for this text, axioms, right? Like this. I'm looking for it. And listen to what he says.
Number 1,
Did you see how he had to sit there and pause a minute and think about what he was going to say?
All gods are imaginary, right? That's an axiom.
I was pausing to think what I'm going to say. Meantime, I bring up the text and start reading it. This guy, I actually feel sorry for this dude.
You can't argue with me about that. Number 2, human evolution is proven by science. Again, something you can't argue with me on. Those are axioms. Now, what
Yes, I can.
Well, go ahead.
axioms is Kali Lula going to attempt?
Hey, so real quick, Shane, if you're still watching, brother, I would ask you to just go back and listen to what his axioms are, and see if there's any way of actually reasoning to those things, and if those need to be held as presuppositions or axioms or not. Yeah, he was googling axioms. That's exactly what was happening.
Yeah. So somebody says the truth in knowledge is I was googling axioms when I was looking for the text for the unhide, so I could present it on the screen. He said I was googling axioms. That's how far off base this guy is. That's how far off kilter, off center that Caligula is.
Pretend are axioms.
Reasoning to it. There's literally no way to reason to it, so I can't use reason.
Logical reasoning.
No, yeah,
You're
but I
basically
don't use.
you're
I
trying
don't
to
use.
justify-
I
you're trying to
don't.
justify
Hold on,
why you
Psych,
use logic.
You already said that. You already said that you were drowning in the ocean right now when it comes to this stuff. Let me talk to Ilmatic. You already said you had no clue what we were talking about, so just sit
No,
back
it's
and
not
listen.
that. I'm just confused on what you're asking me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was asking you if you were you and also not you. Are you a contradiction?
Okay, here's the thing. I don't care about.
Are you a you and also not you? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Caligula, are you or are you not you? No. Are you and also not you? Huh? Can you answer me that? Are you and also not you? Do you understand how brilliant my question is? How rational thought played a large part in me bringing forward this incredibly insightful and profound question to you. Are you or are you also not you? No, are you and are you also not you? You see, do you can you hear and see what you sound like?
Hold on, somebody called a mod.
Well, it was Illmatic. It was me. I was getting a little crazy in here, wondering if you wanted to just he had time to step in and just kind of make sure everything was smooth.
Yeah,
He's rambling on about something that has nothing to do with what I've been asked.
No, he's not.
Thank you.
Why
Yeah.
he's rambling, and I just
See how the other atheist says no, he's not. I'm not rambling on. This
You
guy just
are
doesn't
rambling
understand
on.
what I'm saying. And now I'm about to let this mod know that the problem is that this guy I'm speaking to doesn't understand the conversation, and he's going to take it as me personally insulting this guy. There's nothing insulting about it. If you don't understand, you don't
really?
understand. There's things that people talk about when I'm in a room, and if I don't understand it, I keep my mouth shut. I don't try and debate something that I don't get.
You just hold on a second. You started off the whole thing by saying I'm going to mirror this guy. If he insults me, I'm going to insult him. But he's forgotten about the mirror. He's just using insults and hate without the mirror. So he's projecting.
I'm confused on how this.
Besides, sometimes people think
You guys are fun.
others are rambling when they don't even understand what they're talking about.
Oh God,
Yeah.
start that. Don't start insulting people's intelligence.
No. He literally said that he had no clue what the conversation was about. So I'm not
I
insulting.
literally said I don't know what you're asking me. I never said I did know.
Yeah, so specifically, what I was asking you, Scythe, is if
See, but he did say he didn't know what I was talking about as he was cursing at me. But yet Sidney right here is going to completely gloss over that. Do you see the inconsistency here?
Really?
He's literally, yeah. Oh, look. Thank you, Shane. Those are not axioms. They can be reasoned to. Thank you. So, Sidney, you're still completely lost in the sauce. You don't know.
I'm lost in the sauce. Oh, I like that. I'm lost in the sauce. All right. I'm not lost in the sauce, but I'm sure you're going to explain what you mean. Please.
What you're talking about.
Okay.
And there's
explain.
other people here.
Yes.
If God not existing was axiomatic, no one would believe in God. That's
If God not existing was axiomatic, no one would believe in God. Well, no one does believe in God. Because God doesn't exist. and that's hilarious. Ha ha ha.
Oh my gosh, Shane, that's fantastic.
That's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. This is classical, epic stuff here on Sidney Winston's channel.
Absolutely true.
Okay, this is nervous laughter. I think he's realizing that he's really he really has nothing to contribute at all. He's out of his depth, and nervous laughter is what he's using just to sort of gain time, deflect, maybe come up with a different subject, so he doesn't finish talking about this one. We'll see.
Okay, all right, let's keep
If
going.
you can hold rational beliefs without empirical evidence.
I'll be back. Call me if you need me.
Okay. So,
John Anthony, you say you have zero presuppositions. I guarantee you that you do, and I can show you how.
Okay, he doesn't have presuppositions, but John Anthony does. He's going to show. Let's see.
You do. If you'd like to, and I know it's 2 a.m. for me right now, but I'll send you a link if you want to. You can come on the channel, and I can show you how you have presuppositions.
Khalil, can I call you Khalil?
Absolutely.
When you presuppose the laws of logic, are you talking about the language or the patterns that they describe, that the laws describe?
I'm talking about everything within the law of logic in its entirety.
So the language, the conceptual
yes.
component of it, and the thing it describes.
I can't tonight, and no, you can't. Okay. Let's get together. Since I know you and I like you, John, let's get together and schedule an episode specifically talking about the subject of the episode will be about presuppositions. I'll do it on your channel. We can do it on my channel. Let's find a neutral channel. It don't matter to me. Let's have a discussion with each other.
It don't matter to me. That's a line straight from the script of Mr. Batman. Because I've got it recorded when he said it to me. He made a video challenging me to debate, and he said in the video, you can bring X, you can bring Y, you can bring Z, you can bring AA, BB, you can bring as many people as you want, just so that you can think that you've got a majority. It don't matter to me. That was Mr. Batman, and that was Caligula at the same time. Same phrasing, same inflection. It don't matter to me.
Presuppositions and axioms. And I will promise you, inshallah, I will show you that you have.
I will promise you, inshallah. That means I will promise you by the grace of God. In other words, he's not sure. But if God wants it, and he knows God wants it, it's a promise. See, every time he uses the inshallah and hamdalallah and all this kind of stuff, the cash register goes ching, ching, ching. That's how it works. It's all psychology. You mentioned it earlier. It's all psychology.
Presuppositions.
Well, no, not the thing that it describes. Well, the thing that it's describing is outside of the law itself. The law is just expressed upon the subject.
Theophilus. There you go. Another atheist. Look, now we have 2 atheists who are very well known or well informed within philosophy. So it's not a theist versus atheist.
What does that mean? 2 atheists who are well informed within philosophy. It means nothing. Are you guys listening to this Caligula dude? Make these ridiculous, vacuous, empty claims.
Atheist thing. Now there's 2 very educated atheists in this chat right now, letting you know that you do hold presuppositions. Do you presuppose that you don't have any presuppositions? If that's the case, can you show me empirical evidence how you don't have presuppositions?
Word salad. Absolute word salad.
I'll sit here and wait.
I'll sit here and wait. There's another he's full on Mr. Batman. How do you know that there's laws of logic and laws of that, and they contain all of the universe? And how do you know they'll be here for all time long after you're gone? And you're gonna I'll wait. That's Mr. Batman, and that's two in the same segment. He's used a Mr. Batmanism of Mr. Batman's script.
Name one presupposition I have. One of the presuppositions that you have is assuming that reality is real, because
how do I react in the video? Let's see.
if you didn't assume that reality is real, then any empirical evidence that you would gather to try and prove something could just be a figment of your imagination, and it's not actually real at all.
So assuming that reality is real is I'm confused. You can't assume that reality is real because it's a presupposition, and you don't have it, and you're not allowed to have any presuppositions.
Any evidence that you bring is not evidence at that point. So you must assume that reality is real, so you can reason and bring empirical evidence for claims that you make and substantiate under space, time, and matter, so you can bring those to the
Space, time, and matter. That's a Mr. Batman's Mr. Batman script. See, it's nonsense, absolute nonsense. Assume. Reality is real. Space, time, matter. It's not making any sense.
table and say, now I have empirical evidence. Because why, John? Because reality is real.
Yes, reality is real. Can we not agree on that at least? Reality is real. What is the problem? Why would you say, I don't know, this pen is real. This real pen is a real pen. And it's a presupposition. But it's a real pen, and I'm presupposing that reality is real. Silly. It's absolutely silly.
There we go. There's one. That you exist. It just says it's playing with words. It's really not. Like
it
I said,
really
there's
is.
two other.
I presuppose that I exist. Is that you don't even presuppose it, you just are. A is A. You are what you are. You is what you is.
They're well-versed atheists in this chat right now.
Well-versed atheists, atheist philosophers, atheists educated in philosophy. Listen to this guy.
Disagreeing with you. And Sidney. Sidney doesn't know what he's talking about either.
I got you. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, so I was simply just asking you. I went down this route because when I did ask you, can you hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence, you said no. Now I understand that you did say that you would rephrase and change your mind on that, and I'm totally cool with that.
Why wouldn't he need empirical evidence? I need empirical evidence. Everybody's watching here who needs empirical evidence. So empirical evidence actually is.
Okay, John. How about this? Let's talk to Randall Rouser. Let's talk to Dr. Graham Oppie. Let's talk to Dr.
See, now he's mentioning names from who knows where these names come from. But let's talk to because he doesn't have an answer to what a response to what's being thrown at him. So now he's mentioning, okay, let's talk to A and B and C and D. Total deflection. Total capitulation.
Donald Hoffman. Some of the let's talk to these atheist like philosophers who like present things to academia.
Yeah, let's talk to them. Why? Because you don't have a clue what you're talking about, huh? Yes.
And have PhDs in it. How many actual philosophers in the field do I need to bring you to let you know that you don't know what you're talking about?
How many people should I bring here to tell you that you don't know what you're talking about? Because when you assume reality to be real, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm bringing all the philosophers in the whole world to prove it to you. This is how insane the thinking process is of this Caligula.
And it's no disrespect towards you, John. At one point in time, I thought I knew what I was talking about when it came to these things. Actually, to bring up Shane real quick. I had a discussion with Shane to where I was a little too hot-headed, and I called him out, and I was like, let's do this. Do you know what Shane could have done in that episode that we had? Because I wasn't prepared for the conversation that I was having with him.
Shane, what could you have done?
He could have made a complete fool of me. He was nice.
Shane could have made a complete fool of you. But you make a complete fool of yourself. Why do you need Shane to make a complete fool of you? You have made a complete fool of yourself throughout the videos that I've been presenting to you, or to the viewers and you today. So you're just admitting, you're capitulating, you're admitting defeat, you're tapping out.
Enough to nod, and I appreciate that, Shane. But he could have made a complete fool of me. That let me know that I needed to go, and I needed to study further, and I needed to understand these things that he was bringing up. So when we have another conversation, I'll be prepared. Let's not sit here and act.
So he's not prepared. He's not prepared enough for any conversation to that pops up. He has to prepare. He doesn't have he doesn't have points of view or perspectives of his own. Because if he's going to go to a conversation, he's got to know what the topic is, and then he has to prepare. It doesn't make sense. If I open up a room and somebody comes in and says, I want to talk about X or Y or Z, and I say to him, hold on a second, I just got to go and prepare, so come back tomorrow. That is, it's inane. Doesn't make sense. But he's got to prepare.
As if we do not need to learn anything else and we already have the answers. Let's say, okay, let's see if you're right. Go ahead and say that, go ahead and challenge your own beliefs. That's what I think we should do, is all.
You said you're a skeptic, and you're not. But now you're saying challenge beliefs. Your beliefs are challenged and debunked, yet you still stick to them. So you're preaching nonsense. You're just a snake oil salesman, Caligula. So all you're doing is you're selling a pipe dream. You're selling a bill of goods. Nothing.
All of us should challenge our own beliefs. Now, if you say you don't hold presuppositions, I encourage you, John, to challenge that.
Is pretty fucking important. On the one hand, and on the other hand, I just want to mention that the room is open, so we can discuss this crazy Christian, if you like. But well, if you don't like, it's okay. But I am opening up the room. I just want to know.
That was yesterday.
Here is the join information. Carry on, Caligula. He's only got a few more minutes, and then he's done.
We can't hold reasonable beliefs without empirical evidence because there are things that we must presuppose, like the laws of logic, like cause.
We have to presuppose the laws of logic. So those are axioms, okay? That's what he's saying. When you presuppose something, they're axioms. So if you're going to presuppose the laws of logic, you're not going to find God.
Right.
What else? There's other things that every human being must presuppose.
You see? What else? These other things that human beings must presuppose. I'm not sure I can think of.
Presuppose universally at a fundamental level, because we literally have no way to prove it.
We literally have no way to prove it, so we're going to presuppose it
or demonstrate it. That's exactly what you do, Sidney, and that's exactly what you're not understanding about this. And I'm glad that I have other atheists in here in this live chat that do.
See, he's a spineless jellyfish. He's a coward. Listen to him. I'm going to hide behind other atheist skirts because I don't know what to say. Because I'm a theist and I don't presuppose anything, just God.
You know this. If you guys would like to, Leophilus, I'm not sure. Leo, I'll just call you Leo, like everybody else does. Man, walaikum salam. But Shane or Leo, if you'd like to join, just let me know and I'll send you guys a link. I'll post the link in the chat. Or even provide an argument for it without begging the question and using the conclusion within the premises.
nonsense.
Yeah, so the first two questions that, sorry, I'll let you go after.
Nonsense.
The first two questions he asked you, your answers to, I mean, honestly, they're big landmines, and they really didn't need to be answered that way, but you're free to work through that.
Really confused on why and what he was asking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we went from talking about your religion, Khalil, to completely turning the subject.
Well, no, you asked me why I believe in my God, so I figured I'd start off when I was an atheist and go through all of the steps that got me to Allah. Are you interested in that?
No.
Well, then why are you doing a review on it, Sidney? If you're not interested in it, why are you reviewing this video?
Listen to
that
him.
is a contradiction, guys. That's literally a contradiction.
See, he's laughing at nothing.
Oh my gosh.
No one's interested in that. That's funny. All right.
It doesn't matter if I'm dreaming if testable predictions continue to work. But you have to assume that reality is real because you don't know if it is or not, John. That's what you're not getting.
See, this is where he fails. He absolutely fails when he responds that way. If testable predictions continue to work, then it doesn't matter if he's dreaming, is what John Anthony says. And the response from Caligula was, ha 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 ha, you're crazy because you have to assume that reality is real. And that makes no sense to anybody except to Caligula.
You have to assume that reality is real. Come on. No, hold on. Wait a second. ABS, no, he's not a keyboard warrior. He jumps on videos all the time. It's in his defense, it's 2:13 in the morning for me. I don't know what time it is for him. It's late. He said he couldn't join. He's been on plenty of videos before. He has his own YouTube channel. I wouldn't consider him a keyboard warrior. I don't know if you know him or not, but I do know John, and John's really John's not that. He's not a keyboard warrior.
All right. Well, get back to the subject.
Yeah.
Good.
This is definitely worth talking about because this is crazy stuff. This is the kind of nonsense that atheists send our way. And,
define reality, Justin. You're just playing word games. Would it be okay for me to just define reality with a tautology like your boy T-Jump does and say reality is reality?
Yes, that'll be fine. Because that's the answer. That is the definition of reality. A is A. Remember, you yourself said the laws of logic are axiomatic. You don't have to. They in your words presupposed. Right? They're assumed to be true. They're not questioned. A is A, and then and then this guy Caligula. How do you know that A is A? This is the level of intelligence people that we're working with, huh? How do you know that A is A? Because it's a rule. It's a law of identity. A is A. Yeah, but how do you know? This is what we're working. This is theist thinking.
Reality is that which exists. That's how I'm defining reality.
Reality is that which exists, is how he's defining reality. How do you know that reality is reality? He's so it's a headache. It's a real headache when things get viciously circular like this with these theists.
Do I know that which exists without presupposing that which exists? No, I don't.
Yeah. You gotta find it funny. Otherwise, it's pathetic.
Yes, please keep it respectful, guys.
There's also a. I got to let you know that you don't necessarily need to be on a computer.
Well, this is me.
This chat.
This is me selling, trying to get people to join the chat that I had open at the time.
Just be on your phone.
But I don't have it open right now.
Just join my phone. Oops, sorry.
Oh, he's scrolling forward.
Look, non-debatable number 2. Human evolution is proven by science. Non-debatable. End.
Oh, there's some axioms. There we go.
So, if you can find Will, if you're still here, and Scotty, if you're, can I assume that Justin is Khalil? Because I only know him as Khalilullah. I actually had hold on a second. Yeah, I'll try and remember as well as I go forward because I know I've met him once. fireworks for Halloween. All right, so I was in a room with Cali Lula,
It's on Smoky Saints channel.
and he acted very, very aggressively and abrasively, and he actually had the room owner. This is a hangout room, just like the one I'm inviting you to. Oh,
No, it wasn't Smoky Saint's room. It was Wild Heart 999 or Wild Heart 666. It was his room one time. It wasn't Smoky Saint. At least I don't know if I've ever even been on Smoky Saint's room. I doubt it. But it was Wild Heart. So this guy has not a very good memory for somebody as young as him.
talking about inviting you to, I guess I should let you know I have John. And joining is really easy. All you need is a phone. And with your phone, set phone, all you got to do is pick it. All you got to do is call that number and enter that code. That's it. You're in. Justin Downing is Khalil. Thanks, buddy. I never ever go. Put it this way. Last time I was in Discord was probably actively on Discord was probably 2 years ago or more. Once I got
ABS wants John to know that he apologizes for what he said. I don't know him, but he needs to learn basic 101 philosophy before he can join this chat. If not, both of you are going to talk past each other. Absolutely correct. He needs to learn what axioms are in the universal axioms that all human beings must partake in. That is also correct.
Well, he's just got a few more minutes left. I don't know exactly how he's going to end this, but
banned from all the
yeah.
juicy community rooms, then it was kind of no point. That's number one. And number two, the way I feel about Discord is that it's kind of for young adults and kids. It's not a and I don't think I'll be able to. I've got two cameras going on OBS. I don't know if it's not a problem. Transferring them usually have to close down OBS.
Wait a second. Was I just talking to Scotty?
Still trying to figure out the whole mess myself.
No, I figured out just that my system. So it's got nothing to do with anything other than my CPU. My desktop is fairly old, and
I saw that you were talking about him, and he actually has a fairly active chat going on our Discord server right now. And I hear you what you say about Discord. It is a lot of noise, quite often.
Mm-hmm.
I used to spend. I have 2 servers on Discord, and I used to spend probably all my time. After Hangouts disappeared, it was Discord all the way. And so
I don't know how much of else of this is going to be
pretty much no one came.
fruitful. Here's what I'll do. Is I'll go ahead and I will go ahead and post this link in the chat. If anybody wants to come in and make a statement or talk about anything, I would be more than happy to bring you in. Let me go ahead and post that, and I'll pin that to the top here, and we'll wait a few minutes to see if anybody wants to jump in. While that's waiting, I do want to make a few announcements. We're all waiting for some people to come in. So we will be starting up online store for merchandise here soon. We're going to have EA DAWAH t-shirt.
all right, listen to this. Now is merchandising. Listen to all the stuff that you can buy. If you got lots of money, send it to Caligula. He needs it.
And things like that. Oh, we got Richard with us. Richard, brother, how are you?
Peace and respect, miss you guy.
Peace and respect to you also. What's going on?
Oh, I don't know anything about logic or philosophy, but I thought I'd sit in here and maybe pick up some tidbits, you know?
Yeah. Just real quick, I just want to finish this little public service announcement. We're going to be opening up an online store where we're going to have EA DAWAH merchandise like t-shirts and backpacks and phone covers and beanbag chairs and all kinds of stuff. So inshallah, keep a lookout for that. But yeah, we're going to be opening up that soon. I'll make a little commercial, kind of like I did with the whole Patreon and paid member account commercial. I'll be making another one like that to show you where to go.
I'll have the links posted in the videos if you want to go and get those and get those get t-shirts or whatever you would like to get, and all of that would also go towards the channel on finding some more places to rent out. I think there's a flea market near my house that has a lot of Christians in it that I would love to rent out a little spot in the flea market on the weekends and set up the DAWAH table and provide DAWAH in that flea market. That would be fantastic. But yeah, Richard, what's going on, brother?
الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل